The Spirit are set to take the ice. But first, get all the game day information you need. It's time for Countdown to Face-Off on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey, WSGW.
It's another great night for some Saginaw Spirit hockey, and the countdown is on as the Spirit continue this 3-3 weekend with a short trip down to Flint to take on the Firebirds. Good evening, everybody. Jonathan Dent here in the Stormmaster Exterior Studios. Dylan Clark is standing by in the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. We'll check in with him soon as the Spirit traveled to Flint for a tough matchup, looking to right the ship after falling to the Kingston Frontenacs on home ice last night. The Front started the scoring after hammering away at the Spirit net just 2.5 minutes in. Just over halfway through the first period, a shot from Van Williamson at the point bounced off a stick and a skate before ending up on the stick of Matthew Frost right in front. But Shurigan got his left pad out just as far as it would go to deny the chance and make a fantastic save.
Kuzma, nice move, puck down low. This one cycled off the boards up to Van Williamson. Shot into traffic, takes a deflection in front, great save by Shurigan. He denies Frost right on the doorstep.
We got to highlight this one because it's not often you see it. 40 seconds into the middle frame, Thomas Pobajal brought the puck behind the Spirit net from the corner and came out the other side with the puck on his stick for the Michigan over the shoulder of Shurigan to make it 2-0.
Shot deflected on its way by Pobajal, ends up in the corner. Almost some friendly fire on that exchange up high with Misiak. The Michigan, he scores! Oh, what a goal! Pobajal upstairs on Shurigan. 40 seconds into the period, it's 2-0.
Saginaw didn't wait long to get Kingston back for that one. Only 40 seconds later, Jacob Cloutier won a puck off the boards, entering the offensive end. Worked it out to Carson Harmer, who found Jensen Geldart coasting down the left side with a shot locked and loaded to put the Spirit on the board.
Backhanded pass, settled down by Harmer, returned to Cloutier. Gotten back to Harmer, here's a chance. Backhanded pass, Geldart scores! Betts got a piece, it wasn't enough. Jensen Geldart steps up in a big way.
Another Kingston goal in the second and 3 more in the third. 2 of them on the power play put the game well out of reach, and the Spirit fell 6-1. Tonight, they'll pick up the pieces and visit some old rivals in the Flint Firebirds. Now, the Birds have already swept this year's Coors Light I-75 Divide Rivalry Series and taken the hardware, but this will be a big chance for the Spirit to tweak their nose a bit and, more importantly, pick up 2 big points to try and maintain playoff positioning in the Western Conference. Saginaw currently sits in 8th, just 5 points ahead of the Erie Otters with a 14-18-3-4 record, while Flint is 3rd in the West with a 27-9-2-2 record. The trade deadline has come and gone, and some big moves on either team have changed the face of this matchup a little bit. Since their last meeting, the Firebirds have added some big names with Kevin He, Darcy DeWatcher, Jude Bray, and Jacob Battaglia joining the lineup as they look to make a deep run in the postseason. Meanwhile, the Spirit have gotten a bit younger with the departure of Nick Seaman, Sebastian Gervais, and Hayden Barch. It was also announced today that Trevor Thoyer is moving to the USHL. Bodie Stewart is back after a trade with Barrie. Brody Najim has been recalled from the GOJHL, and Sawyer Schmidt signed on prior to last night's game. Who's going to lead this new, younger Spirit lineup, you ask? Well, it's none other than Dima Zhilkin, who returns from suspension tonight. The 17-year-old is second in scoring on the team, 34 points in 30 games played, and he's been named the 27th captain of the Saginaw Spirit. We'll hear about that news and more when we come back. Dylan talks with Spirit head coach Chris Lazary in Coach's Corner as Countdown to Face-Off continues on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Garber is your local Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer. Family owned, locally trusted. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at your local Jeep and Ram dealer. Garber, Bay Road, Saginaw. Online 24/7 at GarberCDJR.com.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
Too many people end up in the retirement penalty box, paying more in taxes, missing out on healthcare options, or skating without a plan. At McIntosh & Associates, we help keep your game sharp with clear, personalized retirement strategies. Let's build a plan that works in every period of life. Call 989-692-2200 or visit wealthmichigan.com. McIntosh & Associates. Retirement made clear.
Now, get inside analysis directly from the Spirit coaching staff. This is Coach's Corner.
Coach's Corner with the Spirit in Flint on this Friday night, joined again by Spirit head coach Chris Lazary. And Coach, we'll start with the obvious question. Dima Zilkin, your newest captain. What went into the decision, and what are you looking for out of your new captain tonight?
Well, I mean, obviously we have a younger team. We're trying to lay a foundation here moving forward. We really feel like the core of our next championship team is here, but they're young. Now, Zilke, when you look at him as an example on and off the ice, what we want our players to act like, mimic, do. He's the guy for me, the way he works out, how he handles himself, how he conducts himself, how he plays on the ice, how competitive he is, how hard he practices. He does everything right. I want our guys to look at him and emulate that. So, I told him yesterday, our vision is the next guy getting the Memorial Cup trophy will be him, hopefully with a beard. I don't think he'll ever grow one, but it'll be him with the C on his jersey, and it means a lot to him, and we're on that mission. Got a long way to go yet, but that's where we are.
A handful of guys making their debuts last night. Drew Roscoe, one of them on the back end. You find players that are of that size, larger when they're younger in age. Does it take them time to kind of grow into the body a little bit? And what was your assessment of his first game on the back end?
Yeah, for a guy that hasn't played all year since he had his knee surgery, guys in our league, tall, lanky players take a long time. But, Drinks had Petrangelo and Barry, and we watched him as a young player. There's a lot of similarities there. Lanky, skates well, got good hands, all those things. They just need time. And obviously he's trying to get his strength back. He was non-weight bearing for 8 weeks or whatever it was. You lose muscle in your leg, and it's good to get a guy like that in the lineup. As time goes on, you get more ice, but we believe is a big piece of our future. When you just look at his draft class, where he ranked in those players, he was an elite talent that now we got to develop him to be elite talent at this level, and he's got all the tools to do it. It's just going to take some time.
Matchup against the Flint team that's added here at the deadline. How do you keep guys focused on the process and maybe not get distracted by some of the firepower that's on the other side?
Yeah, we don't worry about their roster. We have an internal mission that we're after. We're in 8th. Our goal by the time the regular season ends is to finish 6th. I think we finish 6th. We're probably staring at these guys in the first round. There's a lot of work to do before that, but we're on a mission to give these guys a uncomfortable first round. And yeah, they got some good players, but to me, you look at our roster and we're young, but all of our young guys can play. And they've got 25 games or whatever is left, 30 games to get that development out of them. So now instead of, being a 16-year-old, they're 17-year-olds with the way they play. And we got a lot of talent that's going to get a lot of ice time here down the stretch, and we're looking forward to the challenge ahead.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck tonight. That's Chris Lazary, Saginaw in Flint on this Friday night. Back after this when you're home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about: questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Scott Seaman to create your personal price plan today. Find space at Frankenmuth Spring Hill Suites, where you can savor your time away with the little extras that are included. Each studio suite features extra room to spread out when on the road with your family or your team. Airy beds are piled high with pillows for that little bit of extra comfort. And an innovative 3-in-1 trundle sofa provides even more sleeping options. Book your next stay at Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, where every room is more than a room.
Yeah, I know. It's officially still winter out there, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun in the sun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea knows how to turn up your day drinking fun all year long. I mean, there's even a sun on those bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea is made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol, which goes down smooth. So whether you're knee-deep in snow or making footprints in the sand, be sure to look for Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
So the OHL's trade deadline is come and gone here in 2026, and for the Saginaw Spirit, the back half of the year, laying a foundation with the core of a young championship team. That's the goal. That's the expectation here as they get to go to work against the Flint Firebirds in the middle of a 3-3. Hi, everybody. Dylan Clark with you for another one. This is game 40 out of 68. We are well past the halfway point of this hockey season. This is the Spirit roster that they will go with down the stretch. You heard Chris Lasry talk about the goal. Finish 6th. Get a team like the Flint Firebirds to the first round and give them a run for their money. And the young guys, Levi Harper, Ryan Hanrahan, Drew Roscoe, Brody Popoy, and their newly minted captain, Dimas Jokin, get some reps in a playoff series. And the one-day opportunity, they get to host the Memorial Cup, or hoist the Memorial Cup over their heads. That's a long way away right now. So the task at hand is the Flint Firebirds for the 6th time this season. We take a look at our starting lineups brought to you by Saginaw Valley State University, your community-engaged university in the Great Lakes Bay region. The second line starts out Brody Popoy with Carson Harmer and Jacob Pluche up front for Chris Lasry. On the back end, Josh Glavin and Blake Barnes. For the Flint Firebirds, they have gotten much deeper since the last time the Spirit saw them. Kevin He on the left side, Alex Kostov at center, and Jacob Battaglia at right wing. On the backside, Darrell Uljanski with Luca Graziano. On the blue line for their head coach, Paul Flash. Kevin He and Jacob Battaglia, their two biggest trade deadline acquisitions. Your starting lineups brought to you by Saginaw Valley State University. Back to Jonathan for a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard in the studio, and then we get back to action here. Puck drop from the North Financial Center.
Thank you very much, Dylan. Our look around the league brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings here this evening. Plenty of action to discuss as well. The Brampton Steelheads hosting the North Bay Battalion. The Oshawa Generals visit the Kitchener Rangers. A featured matchup for the evening. The Brantford Bulldogs taking on the London Knights. The Sudbury Wolves host the Niagara Ice Dogs. Erie, the Otters visiting the Sarnia Sting. In the Sioux, the Greyhounds are hosting the Ottawa 67s, and the Barrie Colts visit the Guelph Storm. All of those games looking to drop the puck here moments away. We're moments away from puck drop between the Saginaw Spirit and the Flint Firebirds as well. That's next here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Get it all at Garber Chevrolet Saginaw. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall experience. Our expert technicians are factory trained to the highest standards, keeping your vehicle in top condition. And we have everything for your automotive needs, even tires. Get to Garber Chevy Saginaw today and see how you get it all at Garber. Gratiot Road, Saginaw. Online, GarberChevroletSaginaw.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
So, we're finally ready to plan for retirement, but who do we trust?
Our friends at TriStar Trust. They've been here for 25 years right here in our community, and they'll be here for the next 25.
That's the kind of team I want in my corner.
TriStar Trust helps you plan your retirement, manage your investments, and build the future you've been dreaming of. Because when it comes to your goals, it's your time to shine. Visit TriStarTrust.com.
Looking for the perfect place for your loved one to thrive? At Traditions of Saginaw, we offer comfort, care, and community. It's a senior living hat trick. Whether it's enjoying delicious, chef-prepared meals, personalized support, or fun events, Traditions of Saginaw feels like home. Schedule your tour today and see why families trust us for peace of mind and vibrant living. Learn more at traditionsofsaginaw.com or call to schedule a tour today. Traditions of Saginaw. Welcome home.
Spirit Hockey
Harmer holds it out wide. Centers. Pluche scores!
lives
Looking for the stretch pass to Jokin. He'll pop off the wall and lay down for him. Jokin scores!
here.
Picked up by Harmer. In with speed. Carson Harmer shoots. He scores! Carson Harmer!
The radio home of your Saginaw Spirit is WSGW 100.5 FM. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Stormmaster Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meijer. Now it's game time. Live from the rink to your radio. Here is the first period play-by-play with the voice of Saginaw Spirit Hockey, Dylan Clark.
The sixth matchup of the season between the Saginaw Spirit and the Flint Firebirds. Third time in this building. Last time Saginaw was here, a 5-4 loss back on November the 26th. A similar score, 5-4. The Firebirds beat the Spirit back on October the 18th. The I-75 Divide Cup is going to be in Flint this year. For the first time in 4 seasons, it'll stay, but don't tell the Spirit that, as they are looking for 2 points here tonight, and they want to get back in the win column. Saginaw winners of 5 of their last 7, 4 in their 6 games since the holiday break. We'll take a look at our starting goaltenders for tonight's game, brought to you by NetSource One, the official technology provider of the Saginaw Spirit. Mason Vicari, 3 consecutive victories for him, the overage goaltender formerly of the Kingston Frontenacs. Most recently, 31 saves against the Sarnia Sting on January the 7th. He's got all 5 victories against the Spirit this season. Caleb Papineau gets his first start since New Year's Eve. 26 saves against the Windsor Spitfires, looking for what would just be his second win of the season. His last victory came all the way back on October the 26th, and it was against those same Windsor Spitfires. Tonight's officials brought to you by WNEM TV5. Ryan Harrison and Nick Isaacson, the referees. Joseph Erickson and Jordan Hurtubise will work the lines. Our Delta College opening faceoff, Carson Harmer between Jacob Kluche and Brody Popoy. Kevin He and Jacob Battaglia, the 2 big trade deadline acquisitions by the Flint Firebirds. They will flank the center, Alex Kostoff. Saginaw, the traveling whites. Flint, the home Navy Blues with the orange. Harmer wins the Delta College opening faceoff. And it's back to Blake Barnes. Saginaw moves left to right here in the opening period from Flint. Brody Popoy on the shoot-in. This is quickly taken back up ice in the counterattack by Kostoff. Looking towards the middle, Kevin He pokes it in towards the goaltender Papineau. The puck bounces into his goal pads and out the other way. Kevin He, former captain of the Niagara Ice Dogs. Darrell Zoljanski on the pass back. That one, a awkward collision as Kluche and Kostoff come together. This puck is fired back into the Spirit end, back below the goal line. On it now is Battaglia, former captain of the Kingston Frontenacs. He wears 86 in blue. This is snapped from D to D. Ryland Fellinger there for Kevin He. Cutting back away from Saginaw's Josh Glavin. In the right wing circle, the shot up high. That's stopped and held by the netminder, Caleb Papineau. Some extracurriculars after the whistle as Alex Kostoff, former Sioux Greyhound, is down on the ice right now without a helmet. 45 seconds gone here. No score in the first period in the 6th meeting between the Saginaw Spirit and Flint Firebirds this season. And for Saginaw, they're looking to color within the lines tonight as far as the penalties are concerned. They saw Dimas Yilkin ejected from 2 games ago for a cross-check up high against the Brampton Steelheads. Xander Valeris serves a 2-game suspension as he picked up an aggressor penalty last night for a fight, if you want to call it that. Nolan Butter did not get his gloves off. So Saginaw goes with 6 defensemen tonight. Xander Valeris suspended. Brody Najim is a healthy scratch, and those are the only deletions from the lineup tonight for Chris Lazary. Face-off won by the Firebirds, recovered by the Spirit in their own defensive end. And this is marched north by Dimas Yilkin, the 27th captain in Saginaw Spirit history. He debuts the C here tonight in Flint. He's got this puck in the right wing corner. Darting up the near sideboards. Yilkin rolls over the top, finds Levi Harper. The bump back down the wall. It's intercepted by Flint's Jimmy Lombardi. And the back pass way up. Urban Podrekar into the offensive zone. The OHL's leading scorer, Nathan Aspinall, pursues it back in behind the Saginaw net. Stops up away from Igor Barabanov. Not far behind him in the points race. 5th. This is now up high for Podrekar. Cross-ice feed goes into the corner of the Spirit end. Kicked away from Aspinall. Cannot be kept down to the zone by Klepov. Ryland Fellinger puts it back down into the left wing corner for Nathan Aspinall. Big time collision as Levi Harper got upended by Darian Anderson. James Go leads the charge out of the Spirit end. Klepov flips it there for Go in the right wing circle. Wanted to drop that puck off. Pass got denied. Go has it right into the slot. Here's a chance for Hanrahan, and that one shut down right on the doorstep by Mason Vicari. Puck well up into the air. It'll be gloved down at the Saginaw blue line by Graydon Jones. Up to Jensen Geldart on the left side. This is icing against the Spirit. It comes all the way back down. 17:59 left in this first period. No score. And they have not yet put that shot up on goal. Maybe that puck from Ryan Hanrahan right on the doorstep of the Flint Firebird net did not make its way to the goaltender Vicari. 29 games played. This is his 30th appearance of the season for Vicari. 3 shutouts on the year. 2.52 goals against average, .917 save percentage. As I mentioned off the top of the show, he's got 5 wins against the Saginaw Spirit this season. Firebirds win the offensive zone faceoff. Allen, point shot tipped wide on its way through. Picked up off the boards by Saginaw's Ryan Hanrahan. Back in action after missing extended time with a wrist injury. This is up to Bodie Stewart. His second tour of duty here in a Spirit uniform. He gets slammed down by Charlie Murata. That's going to be a penalty. Bodie Stewart slow to get up, but he does come back up under his own power. And Saginaw to its first IBEW Local 557 power play here in this game. 17:43 left in the first. It'll be a holding call to Murata. A little bit of a curious one there. Saginaw on the power play this season, 8th. And it was not very long ago. They were 14th in the OHL. 29 power play goals on the year, 21.5%. The Flint penalty kill, however, at 84.1. They are 3rd best in the league. Carson Harmer between Jacob Kluche, Dimas Yilkin. Firebirds clear this out past Nikita Klepov. And the 5th and final man of this Spirit power play, Igor Barabanov, retreats back into the Spirit end to pick it up in behind Caleb Papineau. 5 forwards out on this man advantage for Chris Lazary. Jilkin starts back in his own end again after the neutral zone play was foiled. This is Barabanov down the wing, stripped by Kostov. Now Jimmy Lombardi into the offensive zone, tries to drag through Jilkin. Good active skate and stick together. That denies the shorthanded chance. Spirit are back into the offensive end. Give and go. Kluche and Harmon, the pass back. Slides out past Igor Barabanov to neutral ice again. 40 seconds gone on Saginaw's first IBW Local 557 power play. Cross-ice feed goes over off a stick above the head of Jacob Kluche. Kept alive here by Nikita Klepov. Jimmy Lombardi comes over to him. Klepov still battles for this puck. Give and go with Harmer. Klepov takes it right to the net. Tries to get a shot away. He was handcuffed by Kevin He. Puck rolls back up to the blue line. This is Igor Barabanov. Takes a shot. That one blocked at his side by Vicari. Maybe the first right-on chance that he's seen so far tonight. Carson Harmer from below the goal line for Nikita Klepov. Then up high. Barabanov back to Klepov in the circle. Poke back up to the blue line. Barabanov there. Near side Klepov again. Igor Barabanov up high. Takes a shot. Save made by Vicari. Rebound. Loose chance. Kicked out wide. Carson Harmer was right on the doorstep. He can't put it home. Urban Padrekar back behind the Flint net. The Firebirds do clear. 35 on the power play for the Spirit. Both teams are changing. Jilkin carries it in. Barabanov over the near side of the blue line. Down low to the corner. Jilkin finds the late man Popoy. Left circle. Can't get a clean shot away. And a broken play off the stick of Flint's Kevin He. Rolls into the corner, and the Firebirds clear. 15 seconds on the Murata penalty. Aspinall forechecking against the goaltender Papineau, who was out of his net to play it. Ryan Hanrahan will polish off the power play here for the Spirit. Popoy rips it back in. Bodie Stewart in pursuit of Luca Graziano. Closes him off. The Firebirds get one last clear. And they have killed off their first penalty here in this hockey game. We remain scoreless. 15:38 to go in the first period. Here from the Dordt Financial Center. Levi Harper, Saginaw's standout rookie defenseman, tries to dish a puck over the line. It was taken away by the Firebirds. Kostov down the right wing on the counterattack. Puts it in front. Broken play. Great save by Papineau as he robs Josh Colosimo. Kostov up high. That shot off some bodies. Lays down in the near circle. Bodie Stewart gets it out of danger. Puck picked up here. This is Levi Harper. Alex Kostov spins off of him. Alternate captain for these Flint Firebirds in the offensive zone. 2 against 2. It's held at the left point by Dryan and Allen. Given over to Luca Graziano. Shot into no traffic. A left pad save by Caleb Papineau. One of the easier ones he's had to make. This one thrown right in front. All alone a shot. That one put up into the air and out of play by Josh Bonnyman. 14:56 left in this first period. Still no score. Looked like Josh Bonnyman had a sure marker there as he was right on the edge of the blue paint. And he just goes up over the crossbar out of play. Caleb Papineau may have gotten a piece of that with his catching glove. As we'll line up for a face-off on the glove hand side of Papineau. Trying to get a replay of it up inside the broadcast booth. He may have gotten a piece of the glove on that. 14:56 to go in the first. We'll revisit that when we get an opportunity. That could be a massive save for Saginaw's Caleb Papineau. Again, looking for his first win since October the 26th. Offensive zone faceoff. One back by the Firebirds. A shot deflected. Saved by Papineau. It's loose behind him, and he dives on top of it. 2 seconds, that puck was loose in the blue crease. Felt like an eternity. You heard the roar of the crowd in that far corner behind Papineau. Those were the only people in the building that could see where that puck was. Well, the referee as well. He knew where it was. Papineau fights it off, and it just dances right behind him. And he's able to lean back, fall on top of it with the glove, and hang on for a face-off. A couple of tense moments here. Spirit need a defensive zone face-off win. Liam Storch comes in after Uri Rauja got booted from the draw, and Storch wins it. Sawyer Schmidt poked away. Bryson Morgan upsetting there for the Flint Firebirds. A bump towards the middle. Saginaw's the other direction. Schmidt shrugs off a check. This is Ignat Pazzi, former North Bay Battalion forward, back in his own end here for the Firebirds. Pazzi, speed out of his defensive end. Bryson Morgan down the right wing. Firebirds are into the offensive zone. He ducks past Uri Rauja. Centering pass is disrupted by the former Buffalo Junior Sabre, and Sawyer Schmidt making his second appearance here in a Spirit uniform. They clear the puck, and they go back for a line change. Jammed off the boards. The goaltender Vicari's lost his stick. I think a little friendly fire there. This will be Luca Graziano, the defenseman, hopping up on the rush and flipping the puck in on the backhand. Back in behind Saginaw's goaltender Papineau. 6 minutes gone in the first period. No score. Thanks to some strong saves by the Spirit netminder Papineau. A flip puck lands down at the Flint blue line. Broken play. Following on is Jones. Ignat Pazzi takes it away. Jones tries to go between his own legs. This one taken back and behind the Flint net by Darrell Zoljanski. Oljanski, it's his turn to flip this puck back up ice. Battaglia trying to settle it down at the Spirit blue line. It's taken away by Saginaw's Graydon Jones, then moved to Drew Roscoe. Kostov intercepts at center. Kevin He back down the right side, and a snapshot from the top of the right circle is into the chest protector of Caleb Papineau for a face-off. 13:33 to go. First period here between the Saginaw Spirit and the Flint Firebirds. No score. We're back to the Dork Financial Center in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You really do get it all at Garber Chevrolet in Linwood. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience that will keep you coming back. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see us. Get a better overall experience and lease for less in Linwood. Garber Chevrolet Linwood, M13, north of Bay City. Online, garberlinwood.com. Chevrolet, together. Let's drive.
Hi, this is Liam Storch, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
13:33 left in the first period here from Flint. No score between the Saginaw Spirit and the Flint Firebirds, and an extra look at the replay shows that Caleb Papineau did make that right on the blue crease save prior to the break from Josh Bonnyman. Firebirds win an offensive zone faceoff. Darian Anderson, reverse hit on Levi Harper in the near side corner. Saginaw forces a turnover. Klepov off the boards looking for Zilkin. That's stolen by Rylan Fellinger. Jimmy Lombardi turns it into the offensive zone. Fourth round pick of the LA Kings this past summer. Saginaw gets his puck back out to neutralizer. Bon Padrekar puts Dima Zilkin down on the ice. Jimmy Lombardi back in the Flint end here to move this puck to Rylan Fellinger. Good speed up the near side. Fellinger closed off by a hit from Saginaw's James Go. Their only remaining overage player after the trade deadline. Puck rimmed up the far wall. This one spinning like a top here in the neutral zone. It's bounced off the glass in front of Nikita Klepov. Rylan Fellinger blew a tire back in the Flint end. He'll throw this puck back behind, and it's picked up behind the Flint net by Urban Padrekar. 12:38 to go. First period, no score. The Spirit sitting back in the neutral zone. They'll let the Firebirds come up ice. Nathan Aspinall flips it back in behind Caleb Papineau's net. Levi Harper hit by two Firebirds at once. Dryden Allen keeps the puck alive. Given away, though, at the line to Hanrahan. Maybe a chance back the other direction. He couldn't feed Jensen Geldart. Jimmy Lombardi steals it back again for the Firebirds. Can't get through Blake Barnes. He's shut down. Levi Harper moves the puck up ice to Jensen Geldart again. Had the only goal for Saginaw in a 6-1 loss last night against the Kingston Frontenacs. This is Blake Barnes now back in the neutral zone as the Spirit got shut down at the line. Pass up to Bodie Stewart. Finds a man, Geldart, down the right side. Trying to sling it in front. Cut off by James Paul. Now in the right wing circle, the Flint zone. Firebirds take it away. Tessier back down the right side. Firebird surging here, and a long shot hits Papineau right in the Spirit crest. Hangs on for a face-off. And a bit of a dance right now between Saginaw's Glavin and Flint's Xavier Tessier. 11:51 to go in the first. No score. And that will be nipped in the bud right there. And again, Saginaw without Xander Valeris after he picked up the aggressor. Match penalty, carries a 2-game suspension. So they are down to the edge of their available players right now. Again, Brody Nagin, the only healthy scratch at this point. The Spirit might see a potential call-up from Caden Sienko. He's an option down in the GOHL with Chatham. Trevor Thoyer to Dubuque of the USHL. He elected to continue his hockey journey that way. It was announced earlier this afternoon. Saginaw clears the zone after a D-zone face-off. Kevin He back in the Flint end. Up to Jacob Battaglia. Lots of speed down the right side as he shifts in past Saginaw's Jones. This one up the near sidewall. Saginaw just gets it out of danger. It'll be settled down by Kevin He. 4th-round pick of the Winnipeg Jets. Drop back for Darrell Zoljanski. Anaheim Ducks prospect. This is Kostov. Fired back around. Battaglia let it go. Back to the point. This shot well wide from Graziano. Darrell Zoljanski passed down, cut off by Carson Harmer. This is Kevin He high in the offensive zone for Flint. Dropped off for Kostov. The return pass, He right between the dots. Blocked right on the doorstep by Saginaw's Cloutier. Battaglia high in the offensive zone. Watched by Graydon Jones. Kevin He from the corner. Cross-ice pass. Deflected by Carson Harmer's stick. He's got it in the face-off circle. Harmer just gets a hold of it and flips it down the ice. Saginaw tries to sneak a line change. Graziano, near side. Jacob Battaglia down the left wing. They've been out for a while. Kevin He bouncing puck off the boards. Back in past Drew Roscoe. He helps out Carson Harmer back behind the Spirit net. Uri Rauja battles for position on the far boards. Kevin He sends it back in behind the Spirit net. The reverse there. A misfired pass that was intended for Flint's Kostov. Carson Harmer tried to clear the puck. He got Kostov up high. No arm up on the official. He gets back to the bench. Play continues. Battaglia for Graziano now. Inside the offensive zone for Flint. Graziano tries to shift wide on Rauja. Down to the goal line. Sharp angle trying to save by Papineau. And he's on top of the rebound to cover. 10-12 left in the first period. A little bit of luck there for the Saginaw Spirit as Harmer got the stick up on Kostov. I believe it was on the follow-through. And now Bryson Morgan is skating his way back to the Firebird bench, holding a glove up to his face. Not sure exactly what occurred there. Caleb Papineau right now having a conversation with one of the referees. Morgan may have gotten the goal stick of Papineau right on the kisser while he was down on the ice. Offensive zone face-off here for the Flint Firebirds. They win it back again. Fellinger steps into a shot. That's a blocker save there from Caleb Papineau. Already up to 8 shots here in the first period. We've just hit the 10-minute mark. A shot into traffic, deflected wide. Off the end wall, Papineau may have gotten a piece. Fellinger spun back underneath Papineau's net. Left corner, this is Nathan Aspinall. Spins off of Jones, back behind the Saginaw net. Aspinall walks out far side, throws it up high. Padrekar's shot into traffic, saved by Papineau. Loose on top of the blue paint, no whistle yet. They finally pull it loose. Zilkin may have made a stop, and it comes back out to the circle. Fellinger tossed into the boards by Klepov. Aspinall hit there by Igor Barabanov. Josh Glavin. Finally, the puck comes out to Klepov. Fellinger puts it back off his skate. This is Anderson in the left circle. Shot gets deflected off the leg of Jones. Papineau was just able to pull up or pick up his goal stick from right in front of him. Darian Anderson, left corner, getting away from Igor Barabanov. Left circle, this is Aspinall, down below the goal line. Firebirds have been in the offensive zone for a couple of minutes here. Padrekar throws it in front, off the skate of Josh Glavin. Jones up the near boards. Nikita Klepov, just at the Spirit blue line, able to spin this puck up to Dima Zilkin. Carves his way into the offensive zone. Zilkin now a 3-on-2, right into the right wing circle here. Zilkin rips it back down the board. This one cut off by the Firebirds. Zilkin steals from Lombardi. Klepov leads the rush back in. Barabanov far side. Spins just inside the offensive blue line here for the Spirit. Back underneath the Flint net. Klepov throws it in front. James Goal, this shot goes off the outside of the cage. Harper gets it back. Handcuffed there by Fellinger. Hanrahan stretches his stick out. He goes to work in the corner here. Now it's Saginaw's turn to set up in the offensive end. Hanrahan looking for Harper. Poked away by the range there on that stick. From 6'7", Nathan Aspinall, the Firebird captain, throws it back into Spirit real estate from center. And they will call that an icing. 8:24 left in this first period. Aspinall was just a step shy of the red line when he tossed it back in, and some very tired Firebirds, not just from that defensive zone stand that lasted about 30 seconds, but from the offense that preceded it. They've got to stay out here. 8:24 left in the first period. Still looking for our first goal in this contest. Shots 10-2 in favor of the Flint Firebirds on our Frankenmuth Insurance and Saginaw Bay Underwriters shot board. Jensen Geldart to take this face off in the right wing circle against Jimmy Lombardi. Firebirds win the draw, and they put it back out to the Spirit blue line. James Go trying to toss it back in. Firebirds will get the deflection on the shoot in from Darian Anderson. So this is back behind the net of Caleb Papineau. Jensen Geldart, a hot pass that was in his skates. Just couldn't knock that down. This is James Paul backing behind the Flint goal again. Saginaw retreats into a compact neutral zone right now. The 2-3 trying to clog up the middle. Bryson Morgan pokes that one away. And the Firebirds offside here. 7:55 to go in this first period. And it's not very often that you'll see the Spirit put that many guys in the neutral zone in that tight of a formation. But with the names that have gone the other way, Nick Sema, Sebastian Gervais, Hayden Barch at the trade deadline here for Saginaw. It is a young hockey team right now. And this is a very offensively potent Flint Firebirds group. They've just turned the puck over, though. Ryan Hanrahan has this back out at center. 88 in white, flips it back in. He's playing in his 18th OHL game here tonight. Charlie Murata picks things up and flips it out on the backhand for the Flint Firebirds. Couple of bounces back in the Spirit end. Bryson Morgan first to it for Flint. Away from Saginaw's Josh Glavin. Blake Barnes comes over as well. Jensen Geldart waiting for that puck to come free. 7.5 to go in the first period. No score here from the Dordt Financial Center. That shot goes off or a pass rather, goes off the skate of the official. Bodie Stewart trying to put it up high in the wheelhouse of Jensen Geldart. Firebirds have this back in their own end after they got moved out. This is Allen down the left side. Down the wing here for the Firebirds. Goes back behind the Spirit net. Tried to take it back in front. He gets knocked over there by Blake Barnes. Puck on the far wall. Liam Storch for the Spirit. Guides it up to Jensen Geldart. Throws it into the Flint end on the backhand. Alex Kostov, the first man to it for the Firebirds. Up for Jacob Battaglia around the near sideboards. Drew Roscoe pursues him. Battaglia right in front of his own net. Ran right into Liam Storch. Darrell Zuljanski gets it away and up to Kevin Heat. Up the right side. Trying to drive wide on Graydon Jones, who cuts him off. Puck back up high. Bouncing puck for Graziano. Settles it down. Taken down by Rauja. And a penalty coming. 6:35 left in this first period. Uri Rauja will be guilty of tripping, as he just got that stick chopped down around the skates of Luca Graziano, trying to knock the puck away. Knocked him off balance, and that's all she wrote. Scoreless hockey game. First Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill here for the Spirit. The Firebirds, sixth best power play in the Ontario Hockey League, 22.9%. Battaglia will center Lombardi and Aspinall. Podrakar and Kevin He are at the points. Battaglia gets waved out of the dock, so this is Lombardi to take the draw against Saginaw's Harbour. He's won it. Podrakar, this shot saved by Caleb Papineau. And with a little bit of traffic in front, not much, he's able to hang on. 6:32 to go in the first period. Stays a scoreless hockey game. And Caleb Papineau has been outstanding for Saginaw. He's seen a lot of the pucks that have come his way. There haven't been too many tips or deflections, not as much traffic as the Firebirds would like in front. Anticipate that to change. But so far, so good. Podrakar, point shot fought off by Papineau with the blocker. This on the near side. Carson Harmon gets it out to center. Jacob Kluche trying to steal. Might have a shorthanded break. Kluche alone against Vakari. Hooked by Podrakar. Delayed call. It's broken up by the Firebirds. Do we have a penalty shot? No, it's just a regular hooking call. Kluche thought he had Podrakar beaten. Flint, one of just two teams in the OHL who has not given up a shorthanded goal this year. Great opportunity for Jacob Kluche. And he doesn't score, but he's evened things up for his team at 4-on-4. Great read at the Spirit line. Kluche just comes across. Hooking is the call to Podrakar. 4-on-4 offensive zone faceoff for the Spirit. The shot by Harper rifled wide. Jilkin, Barabanov, Go, and Levi Harper. And Barabanov's got it out of the corner. 1 point shy of the 50 mark here in his OHL career. This is Woljanski on the counterattack, and a stick save is made by Papineau from 45 feet. Dimas Yilkin on the Spirit counterattack. Lays it back into space for Igor Barabanov. Cuts back away from Kevin He. Gets an extra shove. Graziano there for the Firebirds, and a stick lift keeps that puck away from Yilkin. Levi Harper looking in front. Alone was Barabanov. It goes off his skate instead of his stick. Back up towards center ice. Yilkin can't pull it away from Kostov. Leads things into the zone here for the Flint Firebirds, and Graziano was well offside there. 5.5 to go. First period. No score between the Spirit and the Flint Firebirds. Shots 13-2 Flint. We're at 4-on-4 though. Back in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about: questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Ryan Coe to create your personal price plan today.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Welcome back inside the North Financial Center. 5:33 left in the first period. No score. A minute 20 seconds on a penalty to Urban Padrekar. So it'll be just a 20-second power play for the Spirit coming up in a little bit, because Uri Rauja has a minute left on his tripping call. We're at 4-on-4 here. And it has been a lopsided first. All the chances have been for those in blue and orange. But some really good saves from Caleb Papineau in his first start of the new year. Spirit win the neutral zone face-off. Klepov calmly off the boards, maybe a little bit too calm, as that can be picked up by Jones. Aspinall steals. Up to the left point. Allen keeping things up into the offensive zone. This is Aspinall. Cuts back towards the circle away from James Go. Braden Jones, the intercept for the Spirit, pass to the middle. Klepov up the near side with speed, and Jensen Geldart, close puck support. Klepov tried to duck down the wall. He ran into Allen. So Ryland Fellinger takes this away. Drops it back to Allen, back in behind the Flint goal line. 24 to go on the Uri Rauja penalty. It'll be a short power play here for the Spirit once he's out of the box. No score. Inside 5 to go here in the first period from Flint. Jimmy Lombardi gets to his own blue line. Crosses center, poked away by Saginaw's Jensen Geldart. Darrell Zuljanski, 7th round pick by the Anaheim Ducks 2 summers ago. We'll see that poked away. Zilkin now for Barnes. Out of the box is Rauja. Levi Harper hit at the offensive blue line by Graziano. Lombardi back to Oljanski. Saginaw will see the very limited seconds of their power play tick away here. Firebirds move it into Saginaw real estate. Fumbled puck there by Barabanov in the neutral zone, so it's Kostov down the right side here for Flint. Hauled down by Levi Harper. Puck into the far side circle. Padrekar's out of the box. They've killed it off. Ryland Fellinger guides that one back over. Far side boards. Levi Harper takes his man into the wall. Bodie Stewart, 27 in white here in his second stint in Saginaw. On to the man that's got his old number. Dimas Yilkin, 71. Can't get it out of the Spirit end. Battaglia, the stick lift. Yilkin's hard after him. Knocked it away. Levi Harper taps it up for his captain. Yilkin can't one-hand that puck at center, so it's Battaglia back again. Shift around Levi Harper. Yilkin backtracking. Breaks that play up with some help from Harper. Good work there by the Spirit captain again. Bodie Stewart up the near side. 3.5 to go in the first period. Shut down at the Flint blue line. Kostov puts Barabanov into the glass. And this is Jacob Battaglia in neutral territory. Throws it up for Allen. He gets knocked off the puck by Saginaw's Storch. So it's up for a goal. Looking for the home run pass. Broken up before it can get to Barabanov. But the pass off the glass. Storch the shot. That one right into the crest. And a save by Vakari leads to a face-off in the offensive zone for Saginaw. On the flip back in, Barabanov read it there. And you may have heard that little clap on the ice. That was Storch tapping for that puck to come back for him. Barabanov didn't even have to pass it back. It actually hopped past Barabanov's stick and came right to Storch in the circle. Right idea for Liam Storch here. And a good save by Mason Vakari. OHL win leader with 22 of them on the season. Puck back out to center ice. Padrekar turned over off some sticks to Saginaw's Braden Jones. Then James Go up to the near side boards where it's turned back in by Brody Papoy. Mason Vakari out of his net to play it. Reverse back up the near side glass. Braden Jones will have to handle this puck back in neutral ice. The Firebirds clear. Xavier Tessier in the neutral zone. Back to Urban Padrekar, given over to his defensive counterpart, James Paul. The return pass for Padrekar. Inside 3 to go here. No score in the first period. Padrekar shifts into the offensive zone. Knocked off balance by James Go. Puck is backhanded up the near side boards here by Brody Papoy, and he'll skate it into the offensive end. Put it back in past Tessier. James Paul. Drop back to Urban Padrekar. Full line change here for the Spirit. Padrekar sets up Josh Colosimo. No, he'll fake the pickup, and so will Charlie Murata. They sweep back in behind the net and act like they're going to pick the puck up, but they don't. Now here's Murata down the left side. Blake Barnes poked away, cost him his stick. He's back in behind the Spirit net. Got to go pick that twig up. Here's a chance up high. Graziano scores. Josh Glavin lost his steal on the play. Blake Barnes was back in behind the Spirit net, picking up his stick, and Graziano rips one low on the blocker side of Papineau. A number of errors and just unfortunate incidents there for the Spirit. I mean, you've got both of your defensemen having major equipment problems. There's really no chance there. Luca Graziano, second goal of the season, opens up the scoring here for the Flint Firebirds. It's 1-0. No chance there. Good hard shot, low in the stick side against the grain from Graziano. Spirit control off the neutral ice face-off. Back into the offensive zone, they'll put it. Darrell Zuljanski back in front of Akari, up now to Aspinall. Firebirds want to strike twice quickly here. Aspinall pushes this puck out wide on James Go. Takes it back in behind the Spirit net. The wraparound try is shut down by Papineau. Poked back in front of the Spirit net, calmly handled by Levi Harper. Up the near side wall, Darrell Zuljanski is hit by Uri Rauja. Puck picked up by Jacob Kluche. Steps into the offensive zone, turns around, drops it off. Uri Rauja high in the slot, knocked off the puck by Graziano. Flipped up to the near side. Jimmy Lombardi hit by Levi Harper. Lombardi can't spin that puck back in either. Kicked out by Saginaw's Harper, then pushed back into the Spirit end, where it's Harper to take control. James Go. Pass too far ahead of Uri Rauja. Firebirds take over. Kevin He down the left side, shifts past Harper. Back into the left wing corner, offensive end. He up for Padrekar. Walking the blue line here for the Firebirds. Fellinger trying to fire back across. Goes out past Kostov, and this is Kevin He. Sweeping back at center circle. Backhands it in, gets right after James Go. Beats him to the puck, lifts his stick. Kevin He's after it. Battaglia battling for it there with Levi Harper in the corner. 45 to go in the first period. 3 against 3 out of the corner. Kostov has it. His high shot is fought off by the left shoulder of Papineau. Back up at the right point. This is Kostov. Just inside the line. Tries to duck in between the dots. Here's a nice move by Kostov again. Broken up by Go. Battaglia trying to throw it back up top to Kostov. It rolls all the way back into the Flint end. 23 to go in the period. Padrekar up to Kostov. Down the left wing in the drop pass for Kevin He. Outside the face-off dot. A high shot. That's fought off by Caleb Papineau as well. Loose puck in the circle. Stolen by Kostov. 10 to go. He's hauled down. Play continues. Kevin He on the boards. This one angled back out looking for Fellinger. Goes all the way back down to the Flint end. And Mason Vicari will take the rest of the period back in behind his trapezoid. So on the one hand, Saginaw trails going into the first intermission. It's a 1-0 lead for the Flint Firebirds. On the other hand, Caleb Papineau stopped 16 out of 17 Firebird shots in those first 20 minutes. The Spirit managed 3 against Mason Vicari. An interesting first period. Lots to build on. Lots to be happy about, though, still for the Spirit, and a lot of it between the pipes. We're back in a moment here in your first intermission report. 1-0 Firebirds on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Saginaw Spirit. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Mike Miner to create your personal price plan today.
When you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan, lose yourself in nature and find yourself at peace. Soak up the stillness of winter on glistening trails, or glide along an outdoor ice rink. Take charming carriage rides through snowy streets. Embrace the magic of the season and warm up with comfort food and handcrafted beverages. There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Find yours at gogreat.com.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How do we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
It's time for your intermission report. In the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, here is Jonathan Dent.
The Spirit hold things down in their own end through a Flint barrage in the first period, but in the dying moments of that first 20 minutes, a goal puts the Birds up 1-0. Let's take a look back at that first frame, brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. It was only 2 minutes, 17 seconds in. Something interesting happens as the Saginaw Spirit go on the power play. Charlie Murata takes a holding penalty. They get the puck moving in the Flint end. A shot by Igor Barabanov is just kept out as Vakari gets to it before Harmer can follow up.
Igor Barabanov up high, takes the shot. Save made by Vakari. Rebound, loose chance. Kicked out wide. Carson Harmer was right on the doorstep. He can't put it home.
Right after killing that off, the Firebirds break in 3-on-2. A pass across to Colosimo at the left post is tracked down by Papineau, who sticks out the pad to deny that chance and keep it scoreless.
Gets a puck over the line. It was taken away by the Firebirds. Kostoff down the right wing on the counterattack. Puts it in front. Broken play. Great save by Papineau as he robs Josh Colosimo.
The Firebirds continued to control things in the Spirit end through several shifts, but Saginaw is able to keep them out. Some great saves from Papineau, some blocked shots despite some very close calls.
Spins off of Jones, back behind the Saginaw net. Aspinall walks out far side, throws it up high. Padrakar's shot into traffic, saved by Papineau. Loose on top of the blue paint, no whistle yet. They finally pull it loose. Zilkin may have made a stop, and it comes back out to the circle.
The Firebirds get their first power play of the evening, 13 minutes, 25 seconds in, as Juraj Rauja takes a slashing penalty, but just 22 seconds later, Jacob Cloutier breaks in all alone, short-handed, draws a hooking penalty out of Urban Padrakar, and it's 4-on-4, followed by a brief Spirit power play, and things are controlled by Flint for much of that time, leading to more 5-on-5. At 17 minutes, 54 seconds, just over 2 minutes remaining in the period. Some unfortunate equipment malfunctions for the Spirit defenseman opens up the right side of the ice for the Firebirds. Luca Graziano receives a pass from Murata, and he fires it in to make it 1-0, assisted by Oljanski as well.
They sweep back in behind the net and act like they're going to pick the puck up, but they don't. Now here's Murata down the left side. Blake Barnes poked away, cost him his stick. He's back in behind the Spirit net. Got to go pick that twig up. Here's a chance up high. Graziano scores!
Yeah, lost steal, lost stick, and a goal in the back of the Spirit net. Shots on goal in the first period, 17-3 in favor of the Firebirds. So a 1-0 score, nothing to scoff at after 20 minutes of play. Saginaw 0 for 2 on the power play, albeit one of them was very abbreviated. Flint 0 for 1 on their 22-second power play. The only scoring in that first period, it was Luca Graziano, assisted by Murata and Oljanski at 17 minutes, 54 seconds. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring Dylan into the conversation, break down that first period a little bit more for you here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
At Garber Chevy Chesaning, better means you get it all. Better prices, better selection, and better service. Our factory-trained technicians keep your vehicle in top condition. We have everything your vehicle needs, even tires. Come see us at Garber Chevy Chesaning and see how you can get it all. At the corner of M52 and M57, online at garberchesaning.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
Prost Wine Bar and Charcuterie now has 2 buzzing locations to enjoy. Visit us in downtown Frankenmuth or in uptown Bay City. We offer a full bar, menu, and memorable atmosphere. Walk-ins are always welcome, and Bay City is now accepting reservations online at prostwinebar.com. Open 7 days a week. Make Prost Wine Bar in Frankenmuth or uptown Bay City your destination for great wine and even better times.
It takes each of us to make Saginaw a place we're proud to call home. Since 1984, Saginaw Community Foundation has helped build and strengthen Saginaw County by bringing together people and resources to make a difference. We're a one-stop shop for giving, building endowments, grant-making, and community leadership. Visit SaginawFoundation.org today to learn more about how you can help support your community. Saginaw Community Foundation, building a flourishing community for all, for good, forever.
Independent Bank is proud to be the corporate sponsor of your Saginaw Spirit. We've been banking in Michigan for 160 years and have always put our customers and communities first. We pride ourselves on being a full-service bank, offering an exceptional banking experience for personal, small business, and commercial banking customers, helping them to achieve financial independence. Be a game changer. Be independent. Member FDIC.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
1-0, the Flint Firebirds lead as we bring in from the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth, Dylan Clark. Dylan, the score is 1-0, but let's look at the shot count. That really kind of tells the story of that first period. Flint 17, Saginaw 3. Caleb Papineau looking pretty sharp through that first period.
Absolutely looking sharp. He didn't have a choice. And if you go back and stack up the last 5 first periods by the Spirit, they've been outshot by the opposition 77-25. 17-3 tonight, 19-6 last night, 16-4, 12-4, 13-8. The last time they outshot somebody in the first period was against the Sarnia Sting back on December the 30th. So it's been a very strange trend to emerge here in the last 5 hockey games. And again, the last game a little more understandable as the dressing room adjusts to some older players being moved out. Is that still the case here tonight? Unsure. It's a really good Flint team. Their top 6 is probably among the best in the Western Conference, and really the only team that's going to be up against it in the East is obviously Brantford. But this is a really good Flint Firebird hockey team, and really the best version of them that the Spirit have seen in quite some time, since the last time they won the Coors Light I-75 Divide Cup. So Saginaw's in a different spot right now. Again, you heard Chris Lazary talk about developing the next young core that's hopefully going to lift the Memorial Cup above their heads in a year or two's time. They're being tested right now. You know, they're learning by fire right now, and I don't mean that in a pun sense because they're playing the Firebirds, but you know they're outshot 17-3 in this first period. Caleb Papineau has made some really strong saves. In a lot of senses, they're fortunate to only be down 1-0 through the end of this 20 minutes. But you know what? The only number that matters at the end of the day is that 1. And that's a very manageable score when you're on the road in a very unfriendly building.
Absolutely. Forgive me if I'm reading too much into it. This looks like a different Spirit team than what we saw for much of the first half. There's this level of motivation there that I just didn't see very much. We saw flashes of it for sure, but there's blocked shots coming from this Spirit squad. There's just this extra gear, it feels like, here tonight.
Yeah, and you know, they've really hit it probably since right before the holiday break. You know, we mentioned it during pregame. Saginaw 4-2 since the break. They've won 5 out of their last 7. It's the best stretch of hockey right now in a season that's been a little bit difficult. And last night, not their best effort, not by a long shot. They looked like a hockey team that lost some close friends to trades earlier that day. So that's understandable. They get some new faces in, like we mentioned, Sawyer Schmidt, Bodie Stewart comes back in, Brody Najum rejoins the team, Drew Roscoe makes his OHL debut, and this is the beginning of a new chapter in the season. You know, you kind of turn the page after the trade deadline. The changing in personnel, it kind of leads to a different feel, and the question is, how does a team respond? You know, this is, again, it's a Spirit team that's outmatched. You know, the Firebirds have more than a handful of NHL drafted players on their roster, and the only one for Saginaw is Jacob Kluche. So there's a little bit of an imbalance in skill. I don't think there's an imbalance at all in energy or in attention to detail or in effort through that first period. That was a really good effort first period from Saginaw. And again, sometimes when you're on the road, that's the most important thing. So the question is, how can they maintain that same level of effort? Things might get more difficult here in the second period. Try to execute offensively, though. Again, 3 shots on goal. That's not going to get it done. They found their way into the offensive zone more as that period went along, but 3 shots on goal is not going to get it done.
And when we look at that offensive side of things, 3 shots isn't going to do it. We saw a shorthanded break from Jacob Kluche. He draws a penalty out of it, and he just can't get the shot away. Really, who have we seen driving the Spirit offense? Who's making those 3 shots?
Well, the Spirit are a very different team with Dimas Yilkin in the lineup. That much is for sure. Barabanov's got 2 shots. Liam Storch has the other one. So for the most part, though, the offensive opportunities or the time in the offensive zone was dominated by that top line. Yilkin, Barabanov, Klepov. And again, the Spirit missed Dimas Yilkin when he's not in the lineup. Captain, he's not just made some great plays offensively, but he had a couple of defensive plays where the puck gets turned over, he's at the blue line of his own end, and he's got to go back the other way. Well, he's at the bottom of the circle in a blink of an eye, and he's helping Levi Harper kill the play defensively. So that's the kind of effort, to go back to our earlier point, that you need out of your captain. But the top line had the most of the chances, or most of the time in the offensive zone, until the later portion of that first period. We saw Jensen Geldart get some touches. We saw, for the Spirit, Ryan Hanrahan get in. That third line, Geldart, Hanrahan, and Bodie Stewart, a left shot playing his off wing on the right side. We saw them get a couple of decent shifts together. So, you know, for a young group of guys that's playing together for the first time, that's what you want. You want to see progress. You want to see development. You're not going to see massive strides over the course of a game, but if you can see just a little bit shift by shift, things improve. You're headed in the right direction, and that's the case for this season entirely, and for this hockey game as well.
The Spirit going to be looking to improve on this heading into the second period. Dylan, thank you as always for your time. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, our out-of-town scores brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. I had to double-check the score on one of these, so you're going to want to hear this here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
At Dow, we believe performance starts long before the whistle blows. It begins in the lab, where science meets sport. From apparel to playing surfaces to gear, we create cutting-edge materials that help drive high performance from lab to stadium. Because in sports, just like in science, every second counts. And every material matters. Dow, at the intersection of sport and science. Learn more at dow.com/sports.
Are you looking to make a sweet change in your career? Plant your career with Michigan Sugar Company. Michigan Sugar Company is now hiring STEM, skilled trades, maintenance, and general labor roles at their Bay City, Caro, Croswell, and Sebwing factories. Visit michigansugar.com/careers for a full list of available roles and to start your application today. Michigan Sugar Company, making life sweeter since 1906.
Enjoy the spirit of Frankenmuth and score big with your kids at the indoor water parks. The puck stops here in Funtown, where fan favorites include chicken and Christmas, but there's really so much more. Arcades, breweries, carriage rides, shopping, and pretzel rolling. Frankenmuth, where we leave the icing to the dessert. 800 Funtown. No matter how cold it is outside or in the hockey rink, there's loads of indoor fun waiting just down the road in Frankenmuth.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Chris Barrios to create your personal price plan today.
Your region, your team. You're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Welcome back. Jonathan Dent here with your out-of-town scores. They're brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings as we take a look at our look around the league. We'll start off with the interesting one. The North Bay Battalion beating up on the Brampton Steelheads 4-0 through the first 20 minutes of play. North Bay only 9 shots on net, 4 of them finding their way to the back of the net. And Sebastian Gervais, former Spirit forward, has his first in green, assisted by Bronson Ride and Brant Harper. And then just, 18 seconds later, Nick Wellenreiter follows it up. So they're up 4-0 to close out the first period. The battalion over the Steelheads. The Kitchener Rangers at home up 1-0 over the visiting Oshawa Generals. A scoreless tie between the Brantford Bulldogs and the London Knights. Knights look to be leading on the shot count there at the very least, but they've had a couple power play opportunities. In Sudbury, the Wolves are down 1-0 against the Niagara Ice Dogs. Hayden Reed, the lone goal in that one. It's a 1-1 tie between the Erie Otters and the Sarnia Sting. A scoreless tie in the Sioux between the Ottawa 67s and the Greyhounds. And the Barrie Colts lead the Guelph Storm 3-1, that one in Guelph, after one period of play. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, second period action as the Saginaw Spirit look to make up a 1-0 deficit against the Flint Firebirds here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Garber Buick is America's oldest Buick dealership. Our factory-trained service technicians deliver precision care to keep your vehicle performing at its best. We also have an award-winning body shop. We even sell parts and tires. You truly get it all at Garber Buick. Better service, better selection, and better prices. Garber Buick, State Street in Saginaw. Online, garberbuick.com. Buick, exceptional by design.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
In hockey, every play counts, and retirement's no different. At McIntosh & Associates, we're your financial line mates, helping you skate through the tough stuff. Taxes, healthcare, income planning, and more. You bring the goals. We'll help set up the assist. Schedule your visit at wealthmichigan.com or call 989-692-2200. Retirement made clear with a team that plays to win.
Looking for an easier way to travel? Fly from MBS International Airport, conveniently located in the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region. No long lines, simple to get around, and for the best deals, always book directly at mbsairport.org, with Delta and United providing access to wherever you want to fly. MBS is putting the world right outside your door. MBS International Airport. Save time and money and fly from nearby. Visit mbsairport.org.
Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Set for the second period here from the North Financial Center. A 1-0 lead for the Flint Firebirds. 17 shots to 3 in that first frame. Caleb Papineau, the busiest man in this building. He'll be counted upon quite a bit here in the second. No carryover penalties or power plays. We start period 2 at 5-on-5. Carson Harmer, the opening face-off against Alex Kostov. No line changes. Papoy and Kluche will flank Harmer. Battaglia and Kevin He will flank Kostov, and Harmer wins the draw. Kluche and Kevin He. A little bit of a joust. Some fellow Winnipeg Jet prospects as this is snapped back in 1953. That took just 7 seconds off the second period clock, and the face-off's going to come all the way back down into Caleb Papineau's neck of the woods. Kevin He, 4th rounder to the Jets back in 2024. Jacob Kluche, 7th rounder to Winnipeg in this past year's NHL draft. So used to priority selection talk. Defensive zone faceoff won again by Carson Harmer. 2 important draws here in this second period. The Spirit snapped this puck around, trailing the Firebirds 1-0 early here. Just 20 seconds gone in the second period. In the offensive zone, Kluche tries to force a turnover. This is turned back into the left wing corner. Alex Kostov out at center. Can't get it back out past Brody Papoy. And it goes down for icing Flint's way. So the face-off to relocate down by Mason Vicari. Carson Harmer has really turned things on as of late here in a sophomore OHL campaign. 24 points in 37 games. But his best body of work has come in Saginaw's last 7. We mentioned that the Spirit have won 5 out of those 7. Their best stretch of hockey, well, they've kind of gone as Carson Harmer has gone. 3 goals and 6 assists for 9 points. He's on a 3-game assist streak, 4 helpers in that time, and that clearing attempt right off the face-off hit one of the linesmen. The Firebirds try to get the puck out of the zone. It does come back out to neutral territory. James go to Levi Harper. A couple of right-shot defensemen on a pair right now for Chris Lazary. Kevin He circles back in his own end. He's had to stay out here after the icing call for the Firebirds. Chips this down the left side boards. Levi Harper there for the Spirit. Dima Zilkin, 27th captain in team history. He follows Michael Misa after it was confirmed that Misa's going to stay with the San Jose Sharks this year. Firebirds force a turnover in neutral ice, and now it's Kostov. Rifles it back around. Nathan Aspinall is hit by Igor Barabanov. Klepov up the wall. Looking for Dima Zilkin in the middle. That's taken away and snapped back up ice by Ryland Fellinger. Back into the Spirit end, delayed offside. That'll buy James Go some time while the Firebirds touch up and get a line change. Igor Barabanov puts a nice puck into space. James Go, right side. Klepov into the circle, cuts between the dots. Finds Zilkin for the shot. And a great save by Vicari as he slides across. 18:25 to go, second period. It has been few and far between for some of the offensive shots here for the Spirit. 18:25 to go in the second. 1-0 Firebirds. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW. Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Some youngsters out to take this offensive zone face-off for the Spirit. Jensen Geldart will be waved down for Ryan Hanrahan. A natural center by trade. Hanrahan takes the draw, unable to win that one. This is snapped up off the near side boards by James Paul. Back into the Spirit end, Darian Anderson, first man after it. Try to put it back in front. Graydon Jones read that, cut him off. Cody Stewart comes back on to help, puck up to the right point. Paul finds his man, Dryden Allen, cutting into the mid-slot. That'll just be scooped up. A bouncing puck in on the goaltender, Caleb Papineau. 18:07 left in this second period. We touched prior to that station ID. Mason Vicari, nobody in the OHL has won more hockey games, 22 of them. 2.52 goals against average. That's 6th best. He is having his breakout season here in his final OHL year. 3rd most minutes in the league as well, 1762. Only Ryder Fedorov in Ottawa and Mr. Stepan Shurigan, Saginaw's backup goaltender tonight, have more. Here's a steal by Levi Harper after a D-zone faceoff. He gets through Aspinall. Harper right to the net. He gets cut off there, and a left pad save made by Vicari as James Paul was the last man between Harper and the netminder. And a scrum's going to pop off a little bit there in that right corner. 17:55 to go here in period 2. Great steal by Harper. He was up high in the defensive zone. And that's a lot of human being to get past. Nathan Aspinall, again, 6'7", 5th rounder to the New York Rangers. He's the OHL's leading point getter this year. And he does it not just because he's 6'5", but because he can move so well. He's got these long strides, but he's able to stack a lot of them on top of one another. Think Jordan Stahl back in the early playing days. He's been able to use that to his advantage quite often. And Harper just able to beat Aspinall back into the defensive zone. Cross-check by Graziano on Harper. Right off the draw. Saginaw to an IBEW Local 557 power play for interference. It was a bit of a bang-bang play. Right off the draw, Graziano's going to go sit down. Harmer may have been off balance. The harms were a big part of that. As Harmer goes down onto the ice after that just little bit of bump there. Thought maybe for a split second we could have seen an embellishment call. Now, again, only seen one replay angle. So Harmer's going to take this face-off here on Saginaw's 3rd IBEW Local 557 power play. Very timely opportunity here. Saginaw's outshot 17-4 in the game. It's only a 1-0 deficit. Up to Igor Barabanov. To start the power play, give and go with Klepov. Barabanov in, shoots, and a good save made there by Vicari right on. Carson Harmer and Jacob Kluche were waiting right in front, looking for any loose change to pop back out. Barabanov and Levi Harper, Carson Harmer rather, have picked up alternate captain's letters in the new Spirit leadership group after Gervais and Sema are traded. Josh Glavin retains his A. Harmer's going to take the draw against Kostov. That puck snapped to the boards. Kostov rips it around there. Kevin He chops it out past Nikita Klepov. Caleb Papineau to stop and drop the puck off. Back in behind the goal for Igor Barabanov. 5 forwards out again. For Chris Lazar in the top power play unit. Klepov and Zhilkin race up towards neutral ice. Zhilkin gives it out wide for Kluche. Looking for the return pass. Just can't get it back to Zhilkin. Firebirds smack this back out into Saginaw's area. All the way back down. Kostov, the first man to it, back in behind Papineau's net. Little trouble with that puck retrieval off the wall. Igor Barabanov is there. Kluche, cross-ice pass. He's able to snap it right onto the tape of Carson Harmer. Dropped it back over the offensive blue line. Klepov back into the corner. Harmer, 1:07 left on the power play. Interference penalty to Luca Graziano. Spirit up high. Dima Zhilkin, top of the left circle, takes a shot. That was deflected by Kluche and fought off there by Vakari. Klepov, bouncing puck, handled nicely by Barabanov. Near side, Zhilkin fakes the one-timer. Walks to the high slot. Takes a shot there. Blocked the save. Vakari, rebound, chances batted around and knocked aside here by Flint's Kevin He. Outlet pass. Brilliant move shorthanded there by He. That's got Podrekar into the offensive zone shorthanded. Drops it off to Jimmy Lombardi. Watched by Dima Zhilkin. The Firebirds drop it well back into their own end and take up more penalty time. 30 seconds left on Saginaw's third power play chance in this game. And now Lombardi's got it shorthanded into the zone again. Lombardi shifting wide. Watched by Barabanov. That puck broken up. Carson Harmer from center. Calmly over the offensive blue line, but they will say that Jacob Kluche was in offside and blow the play down with 16:05 to go in the second period. 16 seconds left on the Graziano minor penalty. 1-0 lead. It'll stay for the Flint Firebirds. Geldart between Ryan Hanrahan and Bodie Stewart here. Braden Jones and Levi Harper out on Saginaw's second power play unit. Middle stage of a busy 3-3 for the Spirit. 6-1 loss to the Kingston Frontenacs on home ice last night, and they don't get any easier. Flint tonight. Windsor at home tomorrow. 7:05 puck drop from the Dow Event Center. Caleb Papineau on the long shoot-in. He'll stop it. Move it for Braden Jones. 2 seconds and 1. Graziano's out of the box. Saginaw's power play 0 for 3 tonight. This puck guided to the corner by the goal stick of Vakari. Harper will try to find Braden Jones. It'll roll off his stick and back into the Spirit end. All over him is Charlie Morana. Now it's Levi Harper. Up to Jensen Geldart. Crosses the offensive blue line. Hanrahan back in front. Can't find Geldart. This is into the corner. Hit by Bodie Stewart. Now Darrell Zoljanski back in behind the Flint net. Good active stick by Saginaw's Hanrahan. The puck moved around to the far wall. Jones gets there against Bryson Morgan. They do clear the puck. Give and go. Geldart back and forth with Levi Harper. Geldart back into the offensive zone. Puts a puck into the skates of Stewart. From skate to stick back in front. Can't be handled by Hanrahan. Now it's Harper. Spinning in the left wing corner. Harper knocked off the puck by Darrell Zoljanski. Sawyer Schmidt on this puck. Up to the right point. James Go. Shot into traffic. Knocked down by Zoljanski. Firebirds look to counterattack. This is Charlie Murata. Back checking. Sawyer Schmidt shot out of a cannon. Murata taken down by James Go. No arm up for the official. Hanrahan up the near side. This is Levi Harper. The defenseman leads the rush. Guides it back in. Sawyer Schmidt at the left wing hash marks. Off the boards. Left-handed shot. Throws a backhanded pass over. Looking for Rauja. Great vision there. Loose puck in front. Shot by Schmidt is saved by Vakari. 14:37 to go. Second period. It stays a 1-0 game. And the best shift of his OHL career by far, his young OHL career for the young Sawyer Schmidt. 27 points in 33 games this year with the Buffalo Junior Sabres in the OJHL. A couple of games with the U.S. National Team Development Program. And the speed evident on that shift, defensively and offensively. They've got this puck in the offensive zone after the faceoff. Barnes looking for Schmidt. Tied up and moved away by Jacob Battaglia. Blake Barnes guides that puck back into the Spirit end. He's going to close off with a big-time check. Alex Kostov. Barnes has lost his glove. This one on the far boards. Podrekar back underneath. James Go. Up the near wall. Uri Rauja. It's the defenseman Barnes. Poked away by Battaglia, knocked down. There's a penalty coming. 14:06 to go in the second period, and a cross-checking call coming up against Battaglia. Fortunate break for the Spirit there. Just an extra shove on Blake Barnes. Will send Saginaw to their fourth IBEW Local 557 power play in this game. Extra shove to give him a cross check. Barnes may have already been off balance, but the Spirit will take it. Same five to start out here on the power play. 14:06 to go in the second period. Stays a 1-0 Flint lead. Carson Harmer gets waved out of the face-off here on the power play. Barabanov won it back. Harmer finding Zhilkin, then cross-ice Klepov. To the top of the zone, Nikita Klepov through the seam. Zhilkin left circle. Waits. Up high, center point Barabanov. Over Klepov, one of the one-touch pass. Fumbled, got it back. Barabanov, near side Zhilkin. To the bumper, then back from Kluche. The shot gets deflected off of Padre Carr. Out the other side, Klepov keeps it alive. Near side, Zhilkin takes the shot, looking towards the middle. Cross-ice, one-timer, Klepov scores! From the top of the right wing circle, Klepov let it go. It may have been tipped by Carson Harmer. 13:39 to go in the second period. The Spirit tie the game on a power play goal. Carson Harmer leads the handshake line down the Spirit bench. We mentioned it off the top of the period. 9 points in his last 7 hockey games coming into tonight. That is his 11th goal of the season. And that's what happens when you see familiar faces moved out. Other guys get elevated roles, and how they handle it is completely up to them. Harmer, who's won some massive face-offs in this game, been very valuable on both sides of the puck. He gets rewarded with a deflection goal from Nikita Klepov's one-timer. 1-1 here from Flint. Popoy back in. Harmer between his own legs. Left circle shot. That's fought off by Vakari. James Go sends it back underneath. Harmer takes the check, moves it up high. James Go walks to the middle, takes the shot, hangs on to it. There's a lot of traffic up high in the zone, and James Go escapes from Kevin Heat. Dropped it off for Kluche. Harmer on his backhand. Snapped it back over. Now Levi Harper walking the blue line, takes a shot. That one off the crossbar in behind Vakari. Back up high. Harper's shot gets deflected in behind the net. Carson Harmer up to the right point goal. Rifles a pass near side. Levi Harper can't escape from Kevin Heat. The puck is kept alive by Saginaw's Kluche. Dumped back behind the Flint net. Brody Popoy stops up, puts it back in front. The Harmer shot. Nobody knows where it is. Harper has it. Now it's Kluche over to James Go. Top of the circles, looking for Harmer in the corner. This is knocked away by Graziano back behind the Flint net. Popoy gets it back. That'll send Jacob Kluche after it on the near side boards. Pass to the middle. Doesn't find anybody, so it's back out to James Go at center. And Levi Harper on the regroup. Saginaw sneaks a line change. Kluche had to stay on. Can't handle that pass. Darrell Zuljanski, glove down on the clear. Harper at center. Kluche still on the ice. Jensen Geldart gets sandwiched in between a couple of Firebirds. And Flint takes over in their own end. What a surge from Saginaw after the power play goal. Puck back into the Flint end, and icing will be called here as Hanrahan could not get there ahead of Graziano. 1-1 on a power play goal from Carson Harmer. Saginaw back in this one. 12:09 to go in the second period. We return in a moment on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You really do get it all at Garber Midland. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see how you can get it all at Garber Midland at the corner of Saginaw and Eastman. See all our inventory online at garbermidland.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
This is Josh Glavin, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
12:09 to go in the second period here from Flint. And a 1-1 tie after the Carson Harmer power play goal is 11th of the year. The Beerline Trombley Electric light the lamp goal as this puck is flipped back out of a D-zone face-off for the Spirit. Glove down by Josh Colosimo. Board battle on the near wall is pulled back out by the defenseman James Go. Dimas Yilkin in his first game with the C picks up the secondary assist on that Harmer power play goal. This puck now back in behind the Flint net. Xavier Tessier out of the defensive end. Tries to throw a cross-ice pass. Now onto the stick of Josh Colosimo. Turned back in behind the Spirit net. Geldart hit there on a glancing blow by Tessier. Saginaw can't get this puck out. Allen holds things at the blue line for the Firebirds. A rising shot tipped wide from high to low there by Tessier. This is back in behind the Spirit net. Paul reverses. Braden Jones cuts it off, quickly moves it. Ryan Hanrahan there for the Spirit. Calmly out of his own end, looking towards the middle, hangs onto the puck, gets center red. Throws it back onto the stick of the goaltender Mason Vicari, who drops it back in behind his goal for Dryden Allen. 9 minutes gone in the second period. Carson Harmer in this frame. Luca Graziano for the Firebirds back in the first and a 1-1 score. This is Aspinall down the right side here for the Firebirds. Spins off of Graydon Jones. Top line goes to work here for Flint. Aspinall up the near side wall, looking towards the middle. Throws it far side. Anderson, cross-ice feed, deflected away from Pondrekar by Uri Rauja. Darian Anderson back in the near corner of the Spirit end. Sawyer Smith's had his helmet knocked off. He's got to get back to the Saginaw bench. Now a long shot is just shoveled towards the net by Papineau. Makes the save. Aspinall has Graydon Jones in a bear hug right now. 10:32 left in the second period. And Sawyer Schmidt had his helmet knocked off there. In that scrum in the corner, it was hard to tell if it was intentional or not. That's a tough one to pick up because officials aren't often looking for it. If it is deemed that the opposing player intentionally knocks your helmet off, it is a penalty. Lombardi against Barabanov. No penalties called there. Face off to the glove hand side of the Spirit goaltender Caleb Papineau, who stopped 17 of 18 in this game. His first start since December the 31st. Igor Barabanov, after some confusion in the defensive zone, moved to Blake Barnes, then onto the stick of Nikita Klepov. Backhands this puck in. Makari back behind the Flint net. Pondrekar up the boards, glove down by Barnes. Jokin just snaps that puck into the corner. A healthy bounce that ends up back and behind the net. Pondrekar back around the wall. It comes Jokin, the stick lift. Can't get it past Aspinall, who wrestles that puck out past Blake Barnes in the neutral zone. Darian Anderson has it knocked away by Saginaw's James Go. Fellinger put it right onto the stick of James Go back in Spirit real estate. Trying to backhand it pass. It couldn't get around Aspinall. Here's the steal. Down the right side. Jimmy Lombardi into the zone with speed. Spins around Blake Barnes. Lost the puck in the corner to James Go. Aspinall gets it back and rifles a high shot. Over the crossbar, off the glass, and well back into the Flint end. As it hits the boards back in behind the goaltender Mason Vicari. That allows Saginaw to get some fresh bodies out. Charlie Murata on things here for the Flint Firebirds. Their 8th overall selection in this year's draft. Murata back in behind the Saginaw goal. Blake Barnes is there for the Spirit. Cut off by Aspinall. Picked up by Saginaw's Harmer, and this is reeled back in by Morgan. Darrell Zoljanski down the left side. Aspinall bumps off Blake Barnes. Kluche on the steal here for the Spirit. Doesn't have much in the way of puck support with him. But he is going to get this into the offensive zone. Now left side, Papoy, the shot gets blocked, and Murata's back on this in the Flint end. Papoy pursues to the far boards. It rolls back in behind the Flint goal. This is settled back down by Ignat Pazzi. Charlie Murata. Cut off by Jacob Kluche. Graziano puts it back to the safety in behind his own goal line. Darrell Zoljanski. This is flipped now here for Graziano. 8:40 in the second period. 1-1 game here between the Spirit and the Flint Firebirds. Levi Harper picks this puck up back in behind Caleb Papineau. 32 points on the season, just 5 points shy of tying Zane Parek's rookie defenseman record. Bodie Stewart, an interception in the neutral zone. His second game back here in Saginaw. Said he was picking his new number because Dave Drinkel reminded him that Dimas Yilkin had 71. He said, "Okay, let's go with 27." When he got into the dressing room, the guys that were there from that first season reminded him, "Hey, that's PJ Forgioni's number." But it's Bodie Stewart's now, and this puck just back and forth in the neutral zone for the last couple of moments. This is Jensen Geldart back in the Saginaw end. Braden Jones up the near side wall, angled back in by Bodie Stewart. The rolling puck is settled down by Dryden Allen. Moved around the far wall. Kevin He can't settle it down. A puck shoveled back in by Saginaw's Drew Roscoe. Second OHL game, 6'7" defenseman out of the Shattuck St. Mary's program. Coming back from off-season knee surgery. You heard Chris Lazary talk during Coach's Corner about that difficult comeback trail. Allen into the offensive zone, a shot that snapped wide and smacked back down below the goal line by Papineau. This is James Go. Into neutral ice. Twists it back in. Pursues the puck back in behind the Flint net. There's Paul. Drop it back off. Dryden Allen for Alex Kostov. Out of the Flint end again. Shovels this puck up to the offensive blue line. 2 against 1. Here's a chance down the left side. The shot. Save made by Papineau. And Sawyer Schmidt makes sure that Kevin He can't get to a rebound before Papineau covers. 7:09 left in the second period. It stays a 1-1 game. More great saves by Papineau. Really, really strong opportunity for Kevin He. 36 points in 32 games here in his 20-year-old season. Right from the face-off dot, he let that shot go. It was looking like he was trying to pick that right hip pocket on Caleb Papineau, where if you can effectively put the puck there, it's almost impossible to stop as a goaltender. Just misses the mark by a couple of inches. Papineau's able to make the save. 5 points, 2 goals and 3 assists for He on his first 4 games in a Flint Firebird uniform. The Firebirds fumble this puck after an offensive zone faceoff is won. So they're back in neutral territory. The puck taken away by Sawyer Schmidt. Now for Blake Barnes. Seen more Sawyer Schmidt shifts here in the second period from Chris Lazary. Cross-corner dump, and Liam Storch throws it back in front. That one almost tapped in by Schmidt. Uri Rauja back in behind the goal. Liam Storch doubled up on. Schmidt has this puck in the right wing corner. Up high, reverses down low, knocked off the puck by Josh Colosimo. 6.5 to go here in the second period. Firebirds work out of the defensive end here in a 1-1 game. Pass snapped up the left wing. Fellinger into the offensive zone. Cut off by Sawyer Schmidt, and the Firebirds are offside. 6:24 to go in the second. And again, the speed on display for Sawyer Schmidt. But again, one of the things he'll have to learn, or the things that comes with time, Schmidt clocks in 5'11", 170. Knocked off the puck a little bit easier than some of his counterparts, and that's not an indictment on his play. It's just guys are bigger in the Ontario Hockey League than they are in the OJHL. They're faster, they're stronger. It's another level of play. So Schmidt has to get used to that, but the speed has been one of the most on-display attributes for 90 in white here for Saginaw on his second Ontario Hockey League game. Graziano rifles that puck in, as you may have heard, off the glass in the corner. Firebirds have drawn a penalty out of the Spirit. Up to Graziano as Vicari goes to the bench for the extra attacker. It's touched up by Levi Harper. And a tripping call will come up here against the Spirit. 6:02, it'll come against Levi Harper. They'll snap a run of 3 straight Firebird minor penalties. Saginaw's second Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill here in this game. Second tripping call. First one to Uri Rauja, this one to Levi Harper. Just got the stick around the laces again. Firebird power play gets to go to work. Battaglia, Aspinall, Lombardi, Kevin He, and Urban Padrekar out for Paul Flash. They got this puck up high. Padrekar, near side Kevin He. Throws it cross ice. Aspinall on the boards. Moves into the circle. Snaps a shot. Blocked there by Josh Glavin. That got him right in the back of the calf. Able to block it, though. He's in some pain. This up on the right side. Padrekar. Shot tipped in. They score. Off of James Go. Right in front of Caleb Papineau. It's a power play goal for the Firebirds. 5:39 to go in the second. It's 2-1. Really no chance there for Papineau on that. James Go's trying to do the right thing. Get in the lane, block the shot. I believe it just goes off his right hand. This is after Josh Glavin takes that one off the calf. Firebirds cash in. They're 1 for 2 on the man advantage here tonight. We'll see exactly who gets credited with that goal. And there's just that prolonged stare after the fact. James Go and Caleb Papineau looking at each other like, hey, sorry, man, that's on me. I thought I had that. So 2-1, Firebirds jump out in front. 5.5 to go on this power play goal. As Bodie Stewart gets in on the forecheck here for the Saginaw Spirit. Jensen Geldart down in the right wing corner. This is back in behind the net of Mason Vicari. Alex Kostov poked it up to Battaglia off the shoulder of Jensen Geldart, now at center. Down the near side, Geldart's got it again. Back in the Spirit end, working up ice. Near side, Ryan Hanrahan tries the drop off. He gets knocked down in the offensive zone. Jensen Geldart's got it off the left wing boards to the corner. Hanrahan rotates back up high here for the Spirit. Hanrahan across the top for Drew Roscoe. A spin pass in front of the damn play. Could not be tipped home by Bodie Stewart. Firebirds back the other direction. Alex Kostov here. Taken away by Saginaw's Jones. The cross-ice pass looking for Drew Roscoe. Not going to be able to find him. Kevin He and Nathan Aspinall pick up the assists on the Urban Padrekar goal. His 6th of the season on the power play. 4:40 left in this second period. The Spirit have iced it. Firebirds will take a 2-1 lead into this break. We're back in a moment here on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Mid-Michigan Canine Academy's Redemption Crew loves Saginaw and the surrounding communities who have blessed us so much, and we are concerned about the epidemic of rehome dogs and dogs left at shelters. If your dog is a handful, or if you're thinking about rehoming your dog, let us help you with its behavioral challenges. Our 7-day doggy boot camp can help. Not all dogs are as fortunate as Henry the Hockey Dog, but they all deserve a second chance. Give us a call at Mid-Michigan Canine Academy and let us help you transform your dog's behavior and your life.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
4:40 left in the second period here from the Dordt Financial Center. 2-1. Firebirds have a lead on a power play goal from Urban Padrekar. 12th in the Ontario Hockey League in scoring among defensemen. His 6th goal of the season off of an unfriendly Spirit bounce off of James going in behind Caleb Papineau. Defensive zone faceoff will be handled and won here by Jensen Geldart. Saginaw tries to go up the far side boards and out to center. They don't do it, but Geldart gets it back. Tosses this puck up the right wing. Bodie Stewart. Down the boards. Darian Anderson cuts that off for the Firebirds. Jimmy Lombardi. Glancing hit there by Dima Zhilkin. Nathan Aspinall pushes this puck back in. Now Urban Padrekar. Out of his net to play the puck is Caleb Papineau. Up the near wall. Barabanov as the top line comes back on. Feeds Zhilkin in the middle. Puck hops up in the air. Zhilkin paws it down. Trying to get past Ryland Fellinger on the far wall. Good spin by Zhilkin in the corner. 2 Firebirds right there. Klepov follows on. He's got it. Looking into the high slot for Barabanov. It was deflected back into the Spirit end. This is Graydon Jones. Up the right side. Barabanov just inside the blue line. Throws a pass back. Settles down for Graydon Jones. Snaps his shot. That's a save by Mason Vicari. Right on. Not a lot of trouble on that one. 3:51 to go in the second period. We talked about face-offs in the departure of Sebastian Gervais at around 55% from the dot this season. So who's going to step up and be the guy? Carson Harmer's been steady in this game, 7 of 13. Jensen Geldart, 4 for 8. Sawyer Schmidt, 2 for 3. As Barabanov's going to take another one. And this one back instead by the Firebirds, 3 for 9 for Igor Barabanov on the faceoffs in this game now. James go up for Klepov. Knocked away by Alex Kostov. Klepov follows it in. Darrell Zuljanski up the far wall. This one flipped back out into the Spirit end. Will it go down as an icing? Yes, it will. 3:29 left in the second period. So an offensive zone faceoff upcoming here for the Spirit. Their third visit here to this building. Back-to-back 5-4 losses, October 18th and November the 26th here at the Dordt Financial Center. There will be one more meeting here later this season, February the 11th. This one back in the Spirit end after James Go gets it back from Levi Harper. Cross-ice pass. On and off the tape of Brody Popoy to flip this puck back in behind Vicari. Darrell Zuljanski back behind the net. Graziano off the boards, up the wall. Jacob Battaglia going to try to steal this back from James Go. He can't get around him. Battaglia, second-round pick of the Calgary Flames in 2024. Darrell Zuljanski on the regroup here. Kevin He back in for Levi Harper. Heavy check there as he closes off Harper. They're locked up behind the play. Now the Spirit get things up. Carson Harmer finds Jacob Plute into the offensive zone. Wanted to slip that puck through for Brody Popoy. Firebirds will steal. Harmer comes back over, hits Kostov. That'll be wrapped back in by Brody Popoy. And Darrell Zuljanski has this puck at center red and flips it back in. It's batted out of the air by Harper, and it was played by a high stick. And a blow play down, 2:29 left in the second period. Dimas Jilkin, Saginaw's leading scorer against the Flint Firebirds in this season series. 10 points now in 6 games against the Firebirds as he's got the assist, one of the assists on the Carson Harmer power play goal back at the beginning of this period. Barabanov to take the face-off against Jimmy Lombardi. Lombardi, no stranger to the back of the net against Saginaw in this season series. 8 points coming into this contest as well. Here's Podrekar. Off the offensive zone draw. Takes it right to the net. Tries to get around everybody. Papino makes a great left pad save as Lombardi goes to work on this puck in the corner. Lavin and Barabanov trying to help out as Aspinall is there for the Flint Firebirds. Puck not moving much. Finally popped free. Aspinall's on it. Tries to skate back down the wall against Barabanov. Nathan Aspinall rolls high in the Flint offensive end. Takes a shot blocked by Barabanov. Klepov tries to steal. One-on-one against Fellinger. He's angled to the boards. Klepov taken off the wall and off the puck as Fellinger closed him off well. Around to the right side. Graydon Jones shifting into the corner on a rolling puck. Settles it down, moved up high. Nikita Klepov just inside the blue line. A shot off the body of James Go. Settled back down. This is Jimmy Lombardi. Up the near side. Stolen by James Go again. Tries to shift around Podrekar. Go into the left wing circle. Shot and a blocker saved by Vakari. Best chance in a while here for the Spirit. 90 seconds left in the period. Klepov trying to cut back down the wall. He's giving it away. Aspinall down the right wing. Back into the offensive zone here for Flint. Turns this puck back around. Barabanov angles it back up the right wing boards. Taken away from Klepov there by Bryson Morgan. This is Darian Anderson. Offensive end for Flint. Between the dots. Walking back out. Papino's lost his net. Firebirds send it back across. Now up to the left point. Saginaw gets out of danger there as Dryden Allen fumbled things back. Last minute of period 2. Morgan fires it off at James Go to the far corner. Quick angle shot from the corner. That one's a stick save by Papino. Had to be ready for that one as that was let go by Ignat Pazzi. Spirit clear again. Paul back in his defensive zone to Flint's Dryden Allen. Then back to Paul. And up to Pazzi who angles it into the Spirit end to avoid icing. Papino moves the puck to Levi Harper. The return back around. Bodie Stewart's got some blue jerseys on him. Has to move this puck quickly. Morgan's going to steal it back down low. Here's a chance. Battaglia trying to look towards the middle. Puck pops up in the air. Bodie Stewart back. Settled down by Battaglia again. High in the offensive zone. Left shot Battaglia. Goes into the right wing circle. Thrown back in front. Pazzi can't make a move on it. Loose puck in front. A backhanded shot pushed wide by Morgan. 10 to go in the period. James Go wants to roll the clock out. He says, hey, guys, come on. Let's go. We got some time here. Ryan Hanrahan up the near side, looking towards the middle. That's it for the first 2 periods here from the North Financial Center. A long shot from Hanrahan ends up in the glove of the goaltender Mason Vicari. 24 shots to 11 in favor of the Flint Firebirds in this game. A little bit closer in that second period. 8-7 Saginaw. But a 2-1 Flint lead on a power play goal from Urban Podrekar. That's where we go into period number 3. We'll take a break. Second intermission report coming up here in a moment on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You're looking for a better price on a better car, so dare to be different. Get to Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw, the only Hyundai dealer in the Great Lakes Bay region. See why Hyundai is so much better. Garber's certified factory-trained technicians, knowledgeable parts staff, and dedicated sales team will keep you coming back to Garber Hyundai. You really do get it all at Garber. Dare to be different. Choose better at Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw. Online, GarberHyundai.com.
When you're ready for checking that earns interest and gives you perks, Merc Perks Plus from Mercantile Bank is here. With a competitive interest rate and perks like travel services, cashback rewards, and identity protection, Merc Perks Plus has everything you need for your busy lifestyle. Merc Perks Plus also offers discounts on consumer loans and access to almost 40,000 fee-free MoneyPass ATMs. So when you're ready for perks, Merc is here. Learn more at mercbank.com/mercperksplus. Member FDIC.
Disability Network Mid-Michigan promotes and encourages independence for all people with disabilities. Our vision is to create accessible and inclusive communities where everyone has opportunities to live the life they choose. Whether you're looking for a job, skills to become self-sufficient, trying to find the right assistive technology, or know someone who wants to move out of a nursing facility, we are here for you. Contact Disability Network Mid-Michigan today, the disability experts in your community.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Kathy Taffel to create your personal price plan today.
We're Durolast. We make the world's best roof. As one of the country's largest roofing manufacturers, we have locations across North America. But for more than 40 years, Saginaw has been our home. Like Saginaw, Durolast has a can-do, never-quit attitude. And just like Saginaw, our people make us strong. Innovative, resilient. That's the spirit of Saginaw. That's Durolast, the world's best roof.
It's time for your intermission report. In the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, here is Jonathan Dent.
An eventful second period as a pair of power play goals. First the Spirit, then the Firebirds has at a 2-1 score after 40 minutes of play. Let's take a look back at that second period, brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. It was 1-0 Flint heading into this frame. An early chance for the Spirit threatens to change that. Klepov battling through the slot to set up Zhilkin in the left circle, but Vakari gets across to make a nice stop on him.
Igor Barabanov puts a nice puck into space. James Go, right side. Klepov into the circle, cuts between the dots, finds Zhilkin for the shot, and a great save by Vakari as he slides across.
Saginaw gets their third power play of the evening after Luca Graziano sits for an interference penalty. They open things up for a few good chances, and a shot by Zhilkin is stopped. Kluche's follow-up is thwarted, and the Firebirds kill this one off.
Klepov, bouncing puck, handled nicely by Barabanov. Near side, Zhilkin fakes the one-time, walks to the high slot, takes a shot there, blocker save. Vakari rebound, chances batted around, and knocked aside here by Flint's Kevin Heath.
Back to even strength, Saginaw kept up the offense for a couple shifts. They get more shots moving towards the Flint net, and they get another power play opportunity just under 6 minutes in. Jacob Battaglia sits for cross-checking. It's power play number 4 for the Spirit. They get the puck moving around once again, and Nikita Klepov lets a shot go from the point off a pass from Zhilkin, and Carson Harmer's on the back door to tip it in and tie the game.
Out the other side, Klepov keeps it alive. Near side, Zhilkin makes the shot, looking towards the middle. Cross ice, one-timer, Klepov scores! From the top of the right wing circle, Klepov let it go. It may have been tipped by Carson Harmer. 13:39 to go in the second period. The Spirit tie the game on a power play goal.
Yes, indeed. 6 minutes, 21 seconds. Your Herman Hisson Company time of the goal on that one. The Spirit continued the offensive push after that power play goal. The Birds start to find a little more of their footing. Kevin He breaks in 2-on-1. He takes a shot from the left circle. Papineau smothers it to maintain the 1-1 tie.
Out of the Flint end again. Shovels this puck up to the offensive blue line. 2 against 1. Here's a chance down the left side. He the shot. Save made by Papineau. And Sawyer Smith makes sure that Kevin He can't get to a rebound before Papineau covers.
With just over 6 minutes remaining, the Flint Firebirds get a power play after a tripping is called on Levi Harper. And 23 seconds into that, Urban Padrekar sends a shot on goal from the point. It ricochets in off James Go in the lane, and it makes it 2-1. Kevin He and Nathan Aspinall on the assists.
This up on the right side. Padrekar shot tipped in. They score off of James Go, right in front of Caleb Papineau. It's a power play goal for the Firebirds. 5:39 to go in the second. It's 2-1.
The Firebirds kept on the pressure in the dying minutes of the second period. Saginaw found a couple breakouts into the neutral zone, but they had a hard time entering the offensive end. They're able to weather that push with some nice defensive play, and it's a 2-1 score after 2 periods of play. Saginaw led on the shot count 8-7 in that second period. Flint still leading the game total at 24-11, but a little more offense from the Spirit there in the middle frame. Saginaw 1 for 4 on the power play. The Firebirds 1 for 2. Scoring in the second, it was those power play goals. Carson Harmer's 11th of the season, assisted by Klepov and Zhilkin. And Gurban Padrekar scores assisted by Kevin He and Nathan Aspinall. That's the one that's making the difference right now. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk with Dylan, break down that second period a little bit more for you here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Your active life depends on healthy muscles, bones, and joints. When pain arises, My Michigan Health is your go-to place. Our comprehensive musculoskeletal team offers the latest in surgical and non-surgical treatments and includes experts in specialized orthopedics and sports medicine. Whether your pain originates from your knee, hip, hand, elbow, shoulder, ankle, or foot, our experts can help. With more than 50 providers across 21 locations in central and northern Michigan, we're dedicated to keeping you active. Learn more at mymichigan.org/MSK.
As a business, a roof over your head is just as important as the products you create. At Versatile Flat Roofing, our membrane roofs have provided safety and security to businesses in the Great Lakes Bay region for over 10 years. Our quality of production in low-sloped flat roofing systems made Versatile Flat Roofing the 2024 Michigan Elite Contractor of the Year. With more than 1,500 roofs installed and 75% of clients coming from repeats and referrals, customer satisfaction is at the heart of the job. For more information on keeping the roof over your head safe and secure, visit VersatileflatRoofing.com today. That's VersatileflatRoofing.com.
Garber Ford is proud to serve Bay City with the same customer service the Great Lakes Bay region has come to expect since 1907. Our Ford team of experts you know and trust are dedicated to making your experience even better. And your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at Garber Ford. Come see us in Bay City at the intersection of Euclid, Wilder, and Better. Online at GarberFordBayCity.com.
As proud sponsors of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Team, the Barb Smith Suicide Resource and Response Network invite you to join us in supporting the players in our community. Our mission is to prevent suicide through education, advocacy, connection to resources, and support for those impacted by suicide. Visit us at srrn.net. That's srrn.net to learn more about our programs and events. Let's go Spirit!
Henry the Hockey Dog loves food and he loves people, which is why Rescue Ministries is partnering with Henry to provide 5,000 meals to our homeless neighbors. It costs $3 to provide a warm meal at the mission, and Henry is asking for your help. Right, Henry? Text Henry 2025 to 50155 to make a donation. My Michigan Health also cares and is willing to match your donation right now. Help Henry provide a meal and consider donating today.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Welcome back. It's a 2-1 game after 2 periods of play as we bring in from the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth, Dylan Clark. Dylan, a very different second period than what we saw in the first. Saginaw's offense comes to life thanks in large part to a couple early power plays. They convert on one of them. What did we see during that first half of the period there?
Well, Jonathan, this is kind of a strange game because you take into account, the effort that Saginaw put together, the 6-1 loss to the Kingston Frontenacs last night, and then a Flint team that's among the best in the OHL that just added 2 elite goal scorers in Kevin He and Jacob Battaglia. And you might think, okay, this thing it could get out of hand early. The Spirit have not had good favor or good fortune here at the North Financial Center this year, but they're in a 2-1 hockey game. They're in a dogfight right now going into the third period. They righted the ship. They were outshot 17-3 in the first. They outshot the Firebirds 8-7 in the second period. They did a lot to kind of calm the waters. There were times they were hemmed into their own end, but as far as kind of putting the building blocks together, as far as being back in this game, it was a completely different period from this Spirit hockey team. Lots to be excited about, and not least of all that power play goal from Carson Harmer.
Absolutely. We talked about during the first intermission that it was mainly that top line, Jilkin, Barabanov, and Klepov really leading the offense. We saw a lot more involvement from some of the other lines and even some of the defensemen really getting up and involved in the Spirit offense. And we saw that during those times when they were able to put together good time in Flint's end. We mentioned James Go, Levi Harper, and some of the rookies too as well, with Sawyer Schmidt making a good showing there in the second period.
Yeah. And again, it's with more time as these guys get more reps under their belt. That was probably the most comfortable that Sawyer Schmidt has felt in his OHL career. Again, he's about 5 periods into it right now. Took a decent hit, but the wheels are starting to be more on display. And that's the thing with all these guys that are on the younger aspect of the spectrum here for the Spirit. The Sawyer Schmitz, the Jensen Geldarts, the Brody Papoys. The more they get into their groove, the more comfortable they feel, and the better they get. They know, like, okay, I've got a lot of skill here. I can showcase this. I see that gap. I've been through this a couple of times. I know I can hit that. I know I've got enough time and enough speed to make this play. So let's see what I can do here. And as that develops and evolves, they find the back of the net a little bit more. They find themselves and they find their game and what their game is here in the Ontario Hockey League. So I thought Sawyer Schmidt had some really good shifts, especially in that second period. And like you said, the defensemen, Levi Harper, James Go. Again, the player that James Go has turned into under Chris Lazary's system, he has turned into a phenomenal two-way defenseman with a ton of offensive upside. 22 points in 39 games coming to this point in the season. He was not a puck-moving defenseman, or at least he wasn't moved as one in Peterborough. Chris Lazary identified a lot of things in his game and said, no, this is what you could potentially turn into, and he has. And James Go and Levi Harper have led a lot of offensive opportunities here for the Spirit, and they haven't given up a ton defensively as an opportunity cost of those of offensive chances. So they need more of that because, again, the offense has been hard to come by here for the Spirit. So if Harper and Go are going to push for things, what does that mean? It means that everybody else has got to be aware of that, come back and cover and be defensively responsible. So I think responsibility here in the third period and, maybe a little bit of luck for the Spirit because it hasn't quite been on their side. They've just been hanging around here in this game.
Absolutely. Going to be looking to generate a little bit more of that offense, a little bit more involvement from the defensemen possibly here as we enter the final 20 minutes of regulation. Dylan, as always, thank you for your time. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, a look at our out-of-town scores, some eventful second periods around the league, scores still being updated. We'll have that for you next on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
Find space at Frankenmuth Spring Hill Suites, where you can savor your time away with the little extras that are included. Each studio suite features extra room to spread out when on the road with your family or your team. Airy beds are piled high with pillows for that little bit of extra comfort. And an innovative 3-in-1 trundle sofa provides even more sleeping options. Book your next stay at Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, where every room is more than a room.
So, we're finally ready to plan for retirement, but who do we trust?
Our friends at TriStar Trust. They've been here for 25 years right here in our community, and they'll be here for the next 25.
That's the kind of team I want in my corner.
TriStar Trust helps you plan your retirement, manage your investments, and build the future you've been dreaming of. Because when it comes to your goals, it's your time to shine. Visit TriStarTrust.com.
Looking for the perfect place for your loved one to thrive? At Traditions of Saginaw, we offer comfort, care, and community. It's a senior living hat trick. Whether it's enjoying delicious, chef-prepared meals, personalized support, or fun events, Traditions of Saginaw feels like home. Schedule your tour today and see why families trust us for peace of mind and vibrant living. Learn more at traditionsofsaginaw.com or call to schedule a tour today. Traditions of Saginaw. Welcome home.
Your region, your team. You're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Welcome back. Jonathan Dent here with your look at your out-of-town scores. They're brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Some exciting games around the Ontario Hockey League. Not a very exciting period in Brampton, though, as the Battalion hopped out to a 4-0 lead in the first. And after 2 periods of play, it's still 4-0 with the troops leading. In Kitchener, the Rangers extended their lead in the second period. It's now 3-0, 2 goals, one of them coming less than a minute into that middle frame. Extend that lead to 3-0. A scoreless tie heading into the second period between the Brantford Bulldogs and the London Knights. The Bulldogs score 4 unanswered. It's 4-0. 3 of those goals coming within 2 minutes of each other in the middle of that second period. It's a 2-2 tie between the Ice Dogs and the Sudbury Wolves. The Wolves came back and tied things up, took the lead, and the Ice Dogs close out the second period with a game-tying goal as well. In Sarnia, the Sting tie things up to end out the first period. Then a second period hat trick by Jack Van Volsen leads them in a surge. They're up 6-1 after 2 periods of play over the Otters. A 1-1 tie between the Ottawa 67s and the Sioux Greyhounds, and a 5-3 lead for the Barrie Colts over the Guelph Storm. Barrie extended their lead to start out the second period. Guelph scored 2 in return, and it's still just a 2-goal game after 2 periods of play. It's a 1-goal game, 2-1 the score as the Flint Firebirds lead the Saginaw Spirit. Third period action coming up next on your home for Saginaw Spirit hockey.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about, questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Scott Seaman to create your personal price plan today.
Yeah, I know. It's officially still winter out there, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun in the sun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea knows how to turn up your day drinking fun all year long. I mean, there's even a sun on those bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea is made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol, which goes down smooth. So whether you're knee-deep in snow or making footprints in the sand, be sure to look for Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Familiar territory for our 2 hockey teams tonight. A 2-1 lead for the Flint Firebirds. This is the 23rd time they have taken a lead into the third period. They have won 19. For the Saginaw Spirit, the 25th time they've gone trailing into a third period. They've won just 5 of those, but that's more than many can say. Carson Harmon to take the face-off at center against Alex Kostov. Saginaw moves left to right here in the third. They got to get 1. They play some of their smartest hockey as this puck moves back in behind the goal of Caleb Papineau. 22 saves on the night. Jacob Kluche takes a puck up high in the D zone. Snaps this up ice. Kluche takes a look to make sure that the teeth are all in one place. No icing. He's got to get to the bench here. Brody Popoy in on the forecheck for Saginaw. They move the puck to Luca Graziano. Had the opening goal in this contest at the 17:54 mark of the first period. Graziano, some head fakes to move up ice. Into the offensive zone, cuts back in past Klepov, poked away at the last second. This is Carson Harmer. Back deep in the Spirit, and he's got the lone Saginaw goal off a tip from Nikita Klepov. And this puck goes back in as an icing, as Harmer could not find Klepov cleanly with the pass. So 19-12 left in this third period. The faceoff comes all the way back down into Spirit real estate. It is Klepov plus the second line, Harmer and Popoy. Josh Glavin and Blake Barnes on defense. Couple of Sarnia boys. Bring up the blue line here for the Spirit. Xander Valeris serves the first of a 2-game suspension. So Saginaw going with 6 defensemen here tonight. This puck back out at center. Nathan Aspinall on it for the Firebirds. Popoy gets off on a line change. And Urban Podrekar throws a bouncing puck in on Caleb Papineau. In a bit of a tense moment. Looked like he wanted to move that puck as Podrekar let it go. It had some sideways rotation on it. The puck tumbling end over end. It looked like as it dug into the blue paint in front of Caleb Papineau, it took a kind of sharp left turn. He was able to smother it with the breadbasket. 18:56 left, third period. Those might seem like harmless chances, but as a goaltender with fresh ice, you never know what you're going to get. The puck has a mind of its own sometimes on those long shoot-ins. Jimmy Lombardi to take this offensive zone face-off here for the Flint Firebirds. 46 points in 38 games. What a breakout season he's had here in his post-NHL draft season. Urban Podrekar shuts things down in the neutral zone after the Spirit clear. Darian Anderson back to the right wing corner. Pushed into the boards by James Go. Levi Harper is there. Nikita Klepov tries to bring this puck back out for the Spirit. Klepov can't quite do it. He's got the numbers advantage. Now Lombardi comes over to cancel him out. And it's Klepov. Going to go back off the end wall. Levi Harper. Barabanov beaten to this puck by Podrekar. Bouncing puck in the corner again. Nathan Aspinall. Got his stick of Levi Harper underneath his arm. It'll be a hooking penalty. And the Spirit touch it up. And Harper's saying, what do you want me to do? He's grabbing onto my stick. 18-17 left in the third. Firebirds get a very timely power play. Saginaw in a precarious position, down 2-1. It was up onto the left arm of Aspinall. And he's going to do the chicken wing on it, trying to hang on to that stick for as long as he can. Harper, it's a tough pill to swallow. You got to drop the stick there. Regardless of if you're guilty or not, you just get tied up like that, you got to abandon ship. He doesn't. Saginaw shorthanded here. Their third Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill in the game, down 2-1. Kostov looking for the tip. Stopped by Papineau. They didn't know where the rebound was. To the right circle. Near side. Now it's Kostov. Rotates up high. Takes the center point spot. Moves to Darrell Zoljanski. Takes a shot blocked by Josh Glavin. It broke his stick. Saginaw can't get the puck out. 5 against 3.5 with a stickless Glavin. Zoljanski dives after it to get it away from Kluche. Now near side Kostov. Fumbled the puck for a second. Kluche's right after him. Saginaw pressuring here on the PK. They move it up high. One-time shot blocked there by Carson Harmer, who's given Glavin his stick, and the Spirit clear. Kluche guns it down the ice. 17:28 to go in the third. 1:10 on the Spirit PK. Glavin gives the stick to the equipment manager, gets one of his own, and stays on the ice. Nathan Aspinall moves things back up here for the Firebirds. Kevin He up the right side. Jams it back around behind the goal of Caleb Papineau. Aspinall there for Battaglia. Hit by Dimas Zhilkin, who's trying to steal this puck, and he does get it out to center. Zhilkin's in a foot race here with Podrekar. Zhilkin puts it into space. Short-handed Bodie Stewart fought off there by Vakari. Great opportunity. Good work for Zhilkin up the near side, and Stewart just can't beat the Flint goaltender. This is Jimmy Lombardi. Near side for Kevin He. Fired it back around the glass. Jacob Battaglia out-muscles Dimas Zhilkin there. Zhilkin gets it back out to center ice. 25 to go on the Levi Harper penalty for hooking. Nathan Aspinall cross-ice pass that deflects off of Stewart and into the Spirit bench. 20 seconds left. Great play there by the Spirit here. Their best penalty kill of the game so far. Again, there's still 20 seconds left on it. Glavin a shot block that breaks his stick. Harmer gives Glavin the stick to make sure that he can play the front of the net securely. Harmer gets a big shot block, and then Jacob Kluche rips it down the ice. And then fast forward another group of penalty killers later. Glavin takes the Harmer stick back to the bench, says, here you go to the equipment manager. Aiden Gomes ready with Glavin's other stick. Glavin stays in the play. And the Spirit gun this down off the neutral zone faceoff. Not to mention the shorthanded chance between Dimas Zhilkin and Bodie Stewart. LeBron Podrekar has this back around the near boards to Darrell Zoljanski. Levi Harper is out of the penalty box. Firebirds 1 for 3 on the power play here. Unsuccessful that time. Now here's Battaglia trying to gallop into the offensive zone. His shot deflected by Graydon Jones, out of play. 16:08 to go here in this third period. Firebirds with the surge here. But the Spirit, some of the finest penalty killing of the year. It's been a sore spot for this team this season, no doubt about it. 19th in the Ontario Hockey League, 75.2% to this point in the year. But you've seen them round into form. The PK helped them win the game against the Sioux Greyhounds last Saturday night. Firebirds 1 for 3 in the power play here in this game. But that penalty kill here for Saginaw, we'll see if it can generate any momentum for them. Trailing 2-1 here in the third. Brody Popoy after a D-zone faceoff gets this puck back out. Firebirds put it off the wall. Popoy joins Barabanov and Klepov here in the top line. As Barabanov's stick's going to snap, he kicks it back up to the neutral zone. Brody Popoy cross ice for Klepov. He's in against Darrell Zoljanski. Takes him to the boards. They lock up skates. Kevin He gets it up the wall. Kept alive by Popoy. Cross ice. One-time chance there by Harper. Blocked by Graziano. Firebirds get it out to center. Comes the rest back in the Spirit end. Kevin He in pursuit of James Go, and Firebirds guilty of icing. 15:34 left in the third period. 2-1 lead for the Flint Firebirds. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Jensen Geldart for the offensive zone face-off between Bodie Stewart, Ryan Hanrahan. Saginaw looking for a third period marker. They've still got tons of time here. And a broken stick play from Barabana was a good chance and a good win on the face-off for the Spirit. Does not get to go too much farther than that. The linesman will blow that one down. There was an issue. So we'll drop it again. And off the tie-up, it's pulled out by Hanrahan again. Got back to James Go along the boards. Poked away from Darrell Zoljanski. Firebirds try to rim it out. Levi Harper has to pick it up on his backhand and move it down low. This is Jensen Geldart. Spinning away from Graziano. Alex Kostoff as the puck pops up in the air. Hanrahan tries to get after it. In the left wing corner, Hanrahan rims it up to the near side. James Go at the point here for Saginaw. Given there to Ryan Hanrahan. Speed towards the middle. Hanrahan to the slot. Takes a shot. Fought off by Vakari. Juggled it for a second. But he hangs on. And a little bit of a dust-up afterwards. And again, Jonathan and I spoke about it during the second intermission. The young guys getting more confidence as they get more and more time here in the OHL. This is the highest level of hockey they've played, and they haven't been playing it for very long. But the more comfortable they get, the more they're going to take those chances and know that they can showcase their abilities. Hanrahan gets the crossovers going, takes it right down Main Street, gets a really heavy shot off. Looking for his first goal since October the 24th against Erie. D-zone face-off by the Firebirds. Allen backhands it out past Hanrahan. Jones gloves it down. Hanrahan gets back to it in the neutral zone and tosses it back in behind Vakari. Up the near side wall. This is Bodie Stewart. Taken heavily into the boards from behind there by Colosimo. No call as Stewart adjusts the helmet. This is brought back into the Spirit end. Stewart's got to get off here. He's going to give a bit of a whack there in the neutral zone to Josh Bonnyman, who brings it into the offensive end. Bonnyman shoots. That's blocked by Jones. Gets a rebound back. Bonnyman up high to Paul. Cross-ice pass. This is Allen down the left side, walking in, snapping a shot. Fought off by Papino. The rebound. Chance is loose. They score. Xavier Tessier would not be denied. 3 cracks right on the doorstep for the Flint Firebirds. And it's a 3-1 lead. There was a questionable hit prior to that as Josh Colosimo takes Bodie Stewart's head and goes into the ledge of the boards down to our right. The Firebirds keep their foot right on the gas back the other direction. Stewart's got to get off. Leads to offensive zone possession. And the Firebirds take a 3-1 lead here in the third period. 14.5 to go. Sawyer Schmidt off the ensuing faceoff snaps a shot right into the glove of Mason Vakari. The iPad is out on the Spirit bench for a moment. Not too much in the way of protest after that goal. Nothing you can do now. The puck's been dropped, but Bodie Stewart's getting some attention right now on the bench from the athletic therapist, Andrew Plate. Allen has it back out of his own defensive end. This is out to center ice. Liam Storch on it for the Spirit. Tied up by Bryson Morgan. Levi Harper there for Sawyer Schmidt again. Get the crossovers going. Backhands the puck. Shut down at the Flint blue line. Schmidt back off the wall. Run off by Paul. This is Padrekar. Out of the corner. Then Pazzi. Back up. Fired back in by Charlie Marana as Levi Harper's back in behind the Spirit goal. Right in front. Ignat Pazzi had a chance. That was handcuffed by James Go. Tried to slip it back down in front. Sawyer Schmidt up through center ice now. Liam Storch. He's got to turn back and go for a change. Storch driving wide, has a lane to the net. Makes the shot. Stopped there by Vakari. And the rebound is covered up by the Flint goaltender before Levi Harper can get after it. 13:24 left, third period. 3-1 lead for the Flint Firebirds. We take a break. We're back in a moment here at the Dork Financial Center on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Saginaw Spirit. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
Hi, this is Graydon Jones, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 WSGW.
Xavier Tessier has the 3-1 goal for the Flint Firebirds. Dryden Allen and James Paul pick up the assists on it. But it's an offensive zone faceoff for Saginaw. Down 2 goals, 13:24 left in the third period. They have put up a pretty decent fight here in this hockey game. They got to get back to work here. James Go inside the line, snaps a shot. That's tipped by Carson Harmer. I thought that went up into the netting. It'll continue in here for the Spirit. Kluche down low. Looking for Harmer, just taps it back around. Kevin He kicked after it. Harmer has it. High slot, drops it back. Brody Papoy snaps a shot. Tipped just wide by Kluche right on the doorstep. Levi Harper pulls it off the wall and goes to Brody Papoy. Papoy cross ice. This is James Go. Lets it go down. The deflection there by Harmer off the outside of the cage. Levi Harper again to the wall, hit there by Battaglia. Puck's pulled around by Kluche here. Backhanded pass, settles down for Brody Papoy. Corrals it on the wall. Papoy flips it back down below the Flint goal line. Kostov there, pursued by Carson Harmer. Good stick check. Help from Kluche. Harmer's got it out of the corner in front. Papoy there for Kluche. The shot fought off by Vakari. And the rebound comes back around for Kevin He. Kluche tries to pick his pocket. Kevin He, left wing corner now, rising shot, he scores! Off the helmet of Caleb Papineau from an impossible angle. 12:23 left in the third period, it's 4-1. That's going to be a tough pill to swallow. 17th goal of the season for Kevin He. He is on the goal line. Papineau is down with a pad against the goalpost. That puck is 1 puck length off the line when Kevin He lets it go. And it's off Caleb Papineau's right ear and into the back of the net. 12:23 left in the third period. That could be the backbreaker as Nathan Aspinall sends this back into the Spirit end. Josh Glavin up for Blake Barnes. Alex Kostov has the only assist on the Kevin He goal. This is back in behind the net of Vakari. Luca Graziano. Back for Oljanski. Barabanov in on the forecheck. They get locked up. Klepov taken into the wall by Jimmy Lombardi. Up the boards it goes again. Graziano runs right over Dima Zhilkin. Zhilkin pops back up. And this bounces off of a Flint glove hanging over the bench. So we'll drop the puck back in the Firebirds' end here. 11:48 to go in the third. Zhilkin, Barabanov, and Klepov stay out. Zhilkin's got something to say to the Firebird captain, Nathan Aspinall. Zhilkin's got to have a little bit more restraint here than at some points. And just off of his second suspension this year, team leader in penalty minutes. He's got the C now. He's going to have to hop back on D as here come the Firebird. Darrell Zoljanski. First man back to him, 71. Zhilkin cuts him off. Puck around to the near side. Aspinall got back for Darian Anderson. Hit by Zhilkin. Puck is picked up by Lombardi. Aspinall high. Slot shot. That goes off Glavin again. He's in some pain as Graziano's got it up high. Back down. Aspinall pursued by Glavin. Aspinall back behind the Spirit net. One hand on the stick. Zhilkin's all over him. Stick checks. Zhilkin goes down. Aspinall stays right with it on the far side. Here he comes. Aspinall up high. Snaps his shot. Tipped just wide. Out the near side corner. 2 Firebirds to the corner. Knocked off of it by Josh Glavin. Blake Barnes to Igor Barabanov. Up through center ice. Klepov delays at the line. Barabanov onside. Pocket pick. Jimmy Lombardi steals the back pressure. Lombardi back to the middle. Into the offensive zone and then right back out. As the Firebirds dump this puck back off now to James Paul. Ryan Allen. Boy, that went right off the visor of Graydon Jones. He's all right. Paul snapped it back in. Josh Bonnyman on the near side corner. Firebirds in the offensive end. Sawyer Schmidt takes his man into the boards. Drew Roscoe plays this out of danger for Saginaw. Long point shot goes off Roscoe and wide. Back behind the net. Josh Bonnyman. Back and forth on the right wing corner. Back to Tessier. Approaching the midway point here in the third period. 4-1 Firebirds. They shovel this towards the net. It bounces wide. Bonnyman's got it back behind the goal. Off the near side wall. This is Allen. Steps into a shot. That one well wide. It's picked up off the boards by Uri Rauja. Backhands it out to center. This is gloved ahead by James Paul. Sawyer Schmidt on this back in the Spirit end. Braden Jones. Angled back in by Rauja. No, they'll say it was not. So icing brought up here with 9:56 left in this third period. A 4-1 lead here for the Flint Firebirds, as they have already secured the Coors Light I-75 Divide Cup for the first time since 2022. 3 I-75 Divide Cup wins for the Spirit coming out of the pandemic-canceled season. 6 wins in total for the Spirit. 4th here for the Firebirds in the Cup's 10th awarding. Saginaw tries to force a line change. Murata on the steal here, back in for the Flint Firebirds. This pass looking for Iggy Pazzi. Whacked away there by James Go. Puck taken away now by Sawyer Schmidt. Back to neutralize. Schmidt knocked off the puck by Pondrekar. He fires it back into the Firebirds' end. This is picked up here by Ryland Fellinger. Let go for Murata again. Into the neutral zone, the 68 that was worn for both of these clubs by Ethan Hay. As a captain for the Spirit and as a youngster for the Flint Firebirds, this is snapped back in behind Caleb Papineau's net. Hay right now at University of Miami at Ohio. This puck snapped at the far wall and jammed back in by Ryan Hanrahan. Alex Kostoff up the boards. Harper snapped away by Battaglia. Picked back up by Hanrahan. Inside 9 to go. Third period. 4-1, the Firebirds lead it. They've opened up with 2 goals here in the third period. Bodie Stewart back on after that questionable hit. Cross-ice pass off the boards. Too far behind Hanrahan. Levi Harper turns it back in. Big-time collision as he gets drilled by Graziano. Harper slow to get back up. This is Kevin He here in neutral ice. Down the left side, Alex Kostoff. Back behind the Spirit net around the other side. Kostoff, top of the zone on a rolling puck. Going to do another lap here. Chopped away nicely, though, by Blake Barnes, but put down low by Kevin He. Battaglia, hit by Jensen Geldart. Puck up in the air, knocked around by Jensen Geldart again. Pulled away by Kostoff. Back up, he spins this puck to Darrell Zoljanski. Lots of room here. Firebirds held to the edge of the zone. They've got the lanes. Battaglia between the dots. Lets a shot go. Fought off by the glove of Papineau. Can't catch it. Rebound chance smacked away as well. 2 stops there from Papineau, and Hanrahan at the end of a long shift can't get it out of the zone. He locks up skates with Kevin He. Both go down. And Bodie Stewart just gets this out. Harper has to stay on, though. He's at the end of a long shift and took a physical punishment earlier on it. Aspinall closes off the hit on Blake Barnes in behind the Spirit net. Kluche through neutral ice, surrounded by blue sweaters. Gets it back into the corner. Carson Harmer tripped up by Paul. Bertie Papoy tries to hit there. And a long stretch past Darian Anderson. Cannot find Aspinall, so it's guided to the corner by the stick of Papineau. Anderson stolen away. Here could be a chance. Braden Jones up the left side. Cuts back inside on Paul. Now Carson Harmer. Right circle. Hits the late man Kluche to the net. That one kicked out by Vicari. Darian Anderson off the skate of Kluche. Harmer, high slot, gets the puck through some skates. Far side now, Brody Papoy. Backhanded in behind Vicari. Kluche taken into the boards by Paul. 2 against 2 back in the Zamboni door. Behind the Flint goal. Inside 7 to go here in the third period. 4-1 Firebirds. Darian Anderson sees this one off the stick of Jacob Kluche. And a bouncing puck right at center ice. Chopped that by Josh Glavin. Glove down by Kluche. Lost it. Firebirds are offside here. As Lombardi is tied up with Kluche, who got a little bit of an extra whack there from Nathan Aspinall. Kluche gives it back to him. He gets a warning. Nothing after that, though. 6:41 to go, third period. As the clock is not on Saginaw's side, Firebirds have buttoned things up defensively here in the third period, 7-5. Igor Barabanov against Alex Kostoff, and we'll have to redrop this puck again here. Face off in front of the Saginaw bench. They've given Mason Vicari, the Firebird netminder, the only assist on the Kevin He goal. It's 2 games in a row that goaltenders have picked up assists against the Spirit. Here comes Kostov up the right side. Firebirds go back to work. Looking there for Zhilkin on the steal. Now it's Klepov and then Barabanov. Twists his way into the offensive end. Zhilkin on side. Podrekar right there, though. Saginaw can't get any deeper into the zone. It's cleared out by Kevin He. Drew Roscoe. Drop back now. This is James Go. Bumps it near side. Barabanov. The delay, but it's reeled right back in again by Podrekar. Glove down by Barabanov at the line. Pokes it there to James Go. Got to head towards the net. Barabanov and Klepov bounce off each other high in the zone. And now Klepov, a shot. Puts it high. Barabanov's going to get an interference penalty here. As he stepped into the way, they'll say, of Kevin He. 6:01 to go in the third. 3 straight minor penalties here for the Saginaw Spirit. As Klepov and Barabanov, a little bit of a rolling pick on one another. Barabanov doesn't move much. He leans into the lane of Kevin He. 6:01 left in the third period. A honk of the horn. That one was a little bit more on the line. Didn't exactly do too much to get out of Kevin He's way, but he doesn't have to. Barabanov given an interference penalty. They've adjusted the time. 5:54 now left in this third period. Jimmy Lombardi to take the face-off. A power play goal here by the Firebirds would really put things away. Short-handed chance for the Spirit, though, would give him considerable life. Vicari dropped off for Podrekar. Aspinall motors up and puts this puck on the left side tape of Jimmy Lombardi. Blake Barnes has lost the stick again. Puck down below the goal line, comes back in front. Paddled there by Papineau. He makes a save and covers on Lombardi from right in front. Josh Glavin's stick was tied up with Nathan Aspinall again. 27 seconds off the penalty clock for the Spirit. Luce and Harmer come out again. Storch and Bodie Stewart come out. Blake Barnes is back on the Saginaw bench. Josh Glavin stays out on the PK. Firebirds winners of 3 out of their last 4. 3-2 since the break. Playing some of their best hockey in November. On a considerable win streak. Aspinall over. One-timer Podrekar. Pad saved by Papineau. The rebound not out of the zone. Right point. This is Podrekar. Now the left side. Aspinall top of the circle. Give and go with Battaglia. Aspinall handles the puck. Tries to set it down. It's deflected by Glavin. Can't get it out. It's held at the left point again by Aspinall. Works it into the circle. Shot blocked by Glavin. At least his third of the game. Now Aspinall. Left circle again. Down to the corner. Give and go. Aspinall. Up high. Urban Podrekar over. One-timer fanned on by Kevin He. Jacob Kluche corrals and fires this puck down the ice. A bouncer. It rolls in on Mason Vicari. He settles it down. Snaps the puck back up to Aspinall. Cross-ice pass over the hands of Josh Colosimo. Aspinall back up to the near side. Battaglia. Woljanski. Down to the right wing circle. Ignat Pazzi, 35 on the penalty to Saginaw's Barabanov. Colosimo tries to roll it in front. That'll be pinned up against the goal pad of Caleb Papineau for a stoppage here. 4:24 left in the third period. They test the perimeter. And some sharp angle chances back in front. Caleb Papineau fought him off. 30 saves right now on 34 shots. Again, tough to shake off that Kevin He shot from a really tight angle. Handful of really strong saves here on this penalty kill. This puck is back for Dimas Zhilkin. Tries to get it out past Iggy Pazzi. Does. This is back dropped off by Vicari for Woljanski. Woljanski up the right side. Darian Anderson back through offensive territory looking for Colosimo. Woljanski. Center point, snaps a shot. That one fought off into the glass. Colosimo pulls it back. Up for Woljanski. Looking for Colosimo again. Out of the box is Igor Barabanov. Another penalty's upcoming as Kostov took a hit. Now it's picked up by Bodie Stewart. Kostov shaking up on the play. As Josh Glavin's in Colosimo's ear. Kostov bleeding right now. Saginaw's going to be shorthanded again. We'll take a break. 3:47 left. Third period. 4-1 Firebirds. Back in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
When you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan, lose yourself in nature and find yourself at peace. Soak up the stillness of winter on glistening trails or glide along an outdoor ice rink. Take charming carriage rides through snowy streets. Embrace the magic of the season and warm up with comfort food and handcrafted beverages. There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Find yours at gogreat.com.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
3:47 left in the third period. Saginaw will be shorthanded as a double minor for high sticking has been handed down to Ethan Jilkin. So it'll be a rough go to the end of it here for Saginaw, down 4-1. Kevin He back down below the goal line as the Firebirds look down a little comfort here. And what could be their sixth victory against the Spirit this year, fourth in regulation. Von Podrekar back over to Kevin He. Kevin He's got the put-away goal right now at 4-1. This one cleared back out by Saginaw's Jensen Geldart. Mason Vicari drops it back off here for Podrekar. Klepov and Barabanov out here in the PK for Chris Lazary. They'll roll the dice if they can. Josh Glavin and Graydon Jones are the defensemen. Here's Lombardi down the left wing. Turns around away from Jones. Over the top with Klepov pursuing. Moves the puck to the right circle. Kevin He takes a step back. Sweeps it down low. Lombardi on the goal line. Turns it back in behind the Spirit net. And right back up the boards for Kevin He. This is Podrekar now at the right point. Back for Kevin He. Then moves it down to the goal line. Return pass on through is read well by Klepov. Got it back up to the line. Can't steal it from Podrekar. Aspinall left side off of Barabanov. To the corner. Lombardi and Jones come together. Up high, puck spills out. Podrekar looking for the backdoor tap, and Battaglia couldn't find it. Right side, Kevin He. Up high, near side. Now Nathan Aspinall. Then for Podrekar at the point, shot into traffic, tipped wide by Battaglia. Kevin He looking towards the middle. Josh Glavin up the right side. Urban Podrekar. Now this is Battaglia, backhanded pass. Nice move over Aspinall. The return does not find its way to the net. Battaglia, 2 minutes left in regulation. Back through the seam. This is Aspinall. Cuts around in the left circle, then back up high. Just keeps that puck inside the edge of the blue line. Takes a shot, snapped wide. Rebound off the wall, put back in front. Right onto the stick of Nikita Klepov. Short-handed, he rolls into the offensive end. Tries to shift wide on Podrekar and hold him off with one hand on the stick. Klepov moves it for Barabanov. Short-handed through the legs of Iggy Pazzi. A diving Aspinall can't get this puck out of the Firebirds' end. Now Pazzi, cross ice, Josh Colosimo. Off the wall, it's taken away by James Go. Rips it down the boards, off the leg of Klepov while the Spirit were changing. Could have been tagged for too many men on the ice there. They don't. 1:26 left in regulation. Darian Anderson hit by James Go. Back up for Darrell Zuljanski. Moves it near side. Kostov, who drew the penalty and drew a little bit of blood out of him as well. Long shot held by Caleb Papineau as more of a crowd gathers in front of the Spirit net. 1:27 on the Zilkin penalty, but 1:14 left in regulation. Josh Colosimo's had a little bit more to say here as the third period's gone on. As these two teams, again, they'll see each other 2 more times here this season. February the 11th in this building. March the 14th, the season series finale at the Dow Event Center. Colosimo will take this face-off against Brody Papoy. In the right wing circle of the Spirit end. Shots on goal brought to you by Frankenmuth Insurance and Saginaw Bay Underwriters. It's been a heavy shooting game for the Flint Firebirds. 35 shots to Saginaw 16. They win this draw. Kostov back to Oljanski. They're still on the power play for the rest of regulation. Kostov's shot blocked again by Josh Glavin. And all the way out to center. Darrell Oljanski back in the Flint zone. Moves this puck to Iggy Pazzi. Tries to get through Josh Colosimo. James Go on the far wall. Pazzi there too. 3 against 3 on the boards. 45 left in regulation. Woljanski Watched by Brody Papoy, then slung back across to Darian Anderson. Thrown in front, stopped by Papineau. Colosimo looking for a rebound chance. He and Glavin are locked up. They're going to take their looks at one another. This puck cleared back down here by the Spirit. Bakari drops it back off. This is Oljanski. 21 seconds. Gets through the stick check of Josh Glavin. Kostov up high. Carson Harmer back up, and now a shorthanded break here. Jacob Kluche with 12 seconds left. It would be academic. Kluche waits, and he scores. They're going to let the clock continue to roll here. They let about 7 more seconds off of it than they probably should have. 3.6 left in the third period. They're going to have to put some of that time back on. 4-2, though, as Jacob Kluche gets on the board. That's the first shorthanded goal that the Flint Firebirds have allowed this season, and they simply quit playing at the end of that exchange. And so the Brampton Steelheads are the only team in the Ontario Hockey League who have yet to surrender a shorthanded goal this year. It's Jacob Kluche, a nice move for his 9th of the season. They go around Mason Vicari. They do put the time back on the clock, 9.6. So face-off at Stenner. One back by Carson Harmer. It'll make things look a little bit tighter, and it was a tight game for the Spirit. Josh Colosimo, Jacob Kluche now locked up with Podrekar here right at the end of regulation, and Josh Glavin's going to come over and take exception out of whoever he can. Tessier and Carson Harmer are wrapped up. Jacob Kluche trying to go back to Ryland Fellinger. The referee tries to split those two up. Tessier is wrapped up now with Harmer. Glavin and Lombardi doing what they can to get after one another. Podrekar comes over, and he's going to try to pull off Carson Harmer's helmet. That exchange was done between Harmer and Tessier, and Podrekar comes over. Now the linesmen are going to try to toss Josh Glavin back and stuff him off the tunnel. That's it for this one. So some pushback for the Spirit at the end. 4-2 the final score. The Firebirds going to pick up their 6th win of the season series against Saginaw. 28th of the year. Saginaw back to the dressing room, back to the Dow Event Center for a meeting tomorrow with the Windsor Spitfires. 4-2 the final score. We'll send you to a break and then back to Jonathan. Post-game coverage coming up in a moment here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Mike Miner to create your personal price plan today.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How do we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
4-2 the final score from Flint as the Saginaw Spirit fall once again. Let's take a look back at that third period, brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. It was a 2-1 game heading into this third period. Only a minute 43 in. Levi Harper sits for hooking, giving Flint another power play on the evening. The Spirit battle through broken sticks and more. Dima Zhilkin helps Bodie Stewart get in shorthanded, but he's stopped by the pads of Vicari. Still, the Spirit kill off the penalty.
Hit by Dima Zhilkin, who's trying to steal this puck, and he does get it out to center. Zhilkin's in a foot race here with Podrekar. Zhilkin puts it into space. Shorthanded Bodie Stewart fought off there by Vicari.
The physicality starts to pick up as Flint gets back into it. A shot by Dryden Allen at 5 minutes 33 seconds leads to a scramble in front of the Spirit net. Xavier Tessier shovels it in backhanded to make it 3-1 with an assist to James Paul.
Cross-ice pass. This is Allen down the left side, walking in, snapping a shot, fought off by Papineau. The rebound, chances loose, they score. Xavier Tessier would not be denied. 3 cracks right on the doorstep for the Flint Firebirds.
shortly after. A save by Vicari on Jacob Cloutier springs a break out the other way by Kevin He, and his shot basically from the goal line deflects in off Papineau's helmet to make it 4-1.
Harmer's got it out of the corner in front. Papoy there for Cloutier. The shot fought off by Vicari. And the rebound comes back around for Kevin He. Cloutier tries to pick his pocket. Kevin He, left wing corner now. Rising shot. He scores off the helmet of Caleb Papineau from an impossible angle.
An impossible angle is right. He was almost to the goal line. The Firebirds continue playing things close, holding on to possession in the Spirit end. Igor Barabanov sits for interference at 14:06. Saginaw is able to weather a barrage from the outside by Flint, kill that one off. But right away, they're shorthanded again for the last 4 minutes of play. Jokin takes a high-sticking double minor. Some more rough stuff picks up after the whistles. Very few dangerous looks either way until, with just 10 seconds remaining, Jacob Cloutier breaks out alone, shorthanded, drags to his right at the crease, and scores to make it 4-2.
Kostov up high. Carson Harmer back up, and now a shorthanded break here. Jacob Cloutier with 12 seconds left. It would be academic. Cloutier waits, and he scores.
4-2 the score. A little bit more rough stuff after the horn, but we'll see if anything gets handed down where that's concerned. Shots on goal in the third period favored Flint once again 13-6, 37-17 the game total. Scoring in the third period, Xavier Tessier for Flint, assisted by Dryden Allen and James Paul. That's what would prove to be the game winner. Kevin He scores the insurance goal, assisted by the goaltender, Mason Vicari, and Jacob Cloutier shorthanded, assisted by Carson Harmer with just 3 seconds remaining in the game. We've got one more highlight for you. It's our My Michigan Health save of the game. Comes all the way back in the first period. It was a scoreless tie for much of the first period, and that was thanks in large part due to the heroics of one Caleb Papineau. This comes right after Flint kills off their first penalty of the game. They get in 3-on-2, a pass across to Colosimo at the left post. Papineau gets across with the pad to make the save and keep it scoreless.
Gets a puck over the line. It was taken away by the Firebirds. Kostov down the right wing on the counterattack. Puts it in front. Broken play. Great save by Papineau as he robs Josh Colosimo.
That's our save of the game presented by My Michigan Health. Papineau, 33 saves on 37 shots this evening. By far the more busy of the two netminders on the ice. We do have at least one penalty that has been assessed at the end of the game for that rough stuff after the whistle. Urban Padrekar has taken a roughing penalty at the 20-minute mark of the third period. Just something to mention there at the end of the game. One more look at our out-of-town scores. They're presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. The Brampton Steelheads did get on the board in the third period, but it was not enough to overcome a 5-goal performance from the North Bay Battalion. One of those from Sebastian Gervais, his first in green, has the battalion a 5-1 win in Brampton. A 3-1 win for the Kitchener Rangers. Well, no, there's Oshawa Generals still have a little bit of time to make that up. I spoke a little too soon. They've got 8 minutes remaining here in the third period between the Rangers and the Generals. The London Knights get on the board in the third period, but it's just 1 goal and 4 goals in the second period from the Brantford Bulldogs overcome them. That's a 4-1 game in London. A 4-2 game as the Niagara Ice Dogs defeat the Sudbury Wolves. That game in Sudbury. The Sarnia Sting are out to a 8-1 lead over the Erie Otters. I'm just checking to see because Jack Van Volsen, no, he has a hat trick in that one. He has not scored a 4th goal, but there's still 4 minutes for things to change in that one. A 2-1 win for the Sioux Greyhounds. They score with just 5 minutes into the third period. Jordan Sharon, both goals for the Greyhounds in that one. And the Barrie Colts look to close out a 6-3 victory over the Guelph Storm. I think that's all we've got for you here in the studio. We'll send you back now to the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth and Dylan Clark for our Applebee's 3 stars of the game.
Thanks, Jonathan. Some standout performers on the Spirit side of things. Carson Harmer, a goal and an assist. Just want to mention that before we get into the 3 stars. And now for Harmer, 11 points in his last 8 games. He's he's really stepped up here for the Spirit to start the second half of the season. But 3 Firebirds for your 3 stars tonight. Xavier Tessier had a goal in this game. It ends up being the game winner, 5:33 into the third period. Urban Padrekar, 1 goal on the score sheet. Lots of defensive plays. Really made life difficult for the Spirit, especially in that third period. He held them to just 6 shots. And many, many plays died along the near side boards in that third period, courtesy of 98 in blue. And again, chipped in with the power play goal in that second period. Urban Padrekar, the second star of the night. First star, well, he was in Niagara not so long ago. Kevin He has proved to be worth all of the draft picks and capital that went back the other way to Niagara back on December the 28th. Goal, assist, first star of the game. Doesn't end up being the game winner, but his goal off the helmet of Caleb Papineau ends up being the insurance marker that helps Flint to their 4th victory of the season. Your 3 stars of the game brought to you by Applebee's. Applied Innovation, look ahead for the Spirit. One more on this weekend. Saturday, tomorrow, January the 10th, the 7:05 puck drop against the Flint Firebirds on home ice. And an equal challenge here to these Flint Firebirds, who the Spirit kept in check for quite a long time in this game. 7:05 tomorrow against the Spitfires. The next road trip, Friday, January the 16th, they're in Kitchener to take on the Rangers. Saturday, the 17th, the Erie Otters. 7 o'clock puck drops for both of those. We'll be on the air with pregame 15 minutes before, 6:45 right here on WSGW. Final score in this game, Flint 4, Saginaw 2. The Spirit now 14-19, 3-4 on the year. They're going to have to make up some points at their next possible opportunity. They see the Windsor Spitfires tomorrow. For Jonathan back in the studio, thanks to him and all the work that he's done. My name's Dylan Clark. Thanks for being with us tonight, everybody. Good night, Saginaw. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
You've been listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Stormmaster Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meyer. All season long, the Spirit play on WSGW 100.5 FM and online WSGW.com. We now return to regular programming on WSGW.